What up, Doe? It is your host, the one and only, the enigmatic, fantastic, Michigander, Detroit tastic, Rocky Mr. Magic. This is Finalysis 101, and I am joined by the wonderful co host, the one and only, still a Laker fan, Jeek Greg Burnham. What up, Doe?
What it is.
What it is. Yeah, see, for those doing the video, you see, Greg cut the hair a little bit, had to line it up. He's making these public appearances at these cons. It's got to look pretty for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Sit at the booth there, autographs, signing issues of little Rockford Files and little Rock Files. I said Rockford Files. I'm getting old. Little Rock Files. The War is the New Black. Them issues out there. Get those issues. Cop those issues. Joining us, me and Greg, who do this wonderful fun show, is the man who actually connected me and Greg. My brother of 20 plus years, the host of the Dad Is Not a Noun podcast, who's currently doing this shade thing with his lid. Can't even see his can't even see his face. Gotta get some better lighting over there, bro. It's hiding the shade. My man, Ishmael Street. What up, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm just being humble. That's the reason why, the Knicks won the championship. I'm not gonna try to gloat here. I'm just here to just spit some facts and spend some time with you, brothers.
Now gloat away. Look, this is
No,
a,
I'm
this is
not
a
gonna
very
gloat,
no
man.
gloat away.
No, I'm
Look,
not gonna do that, man.
53 years.
I
Gloat
know,
away
man.
You
because
weren't even alive.
hey,
last
I
Ish,
night.
wasn't live. I wasn't even in my dad's balls yet, dude.
true.
So
That's true. But look, we keeping 100 on this show. All right, that Laker fan in the middle, this Piston fan on the right. We would be gloating had
Yeah,
our teams won.
yeah.
So please,
I did
you've
my
earned it.
gloating behind the scenes. I
Gloat
did I
away.
did it behind the scenes, man. I was at the parade,
Yes, you was.
which was dope, but at the same time a hot mess. I decided to leave because I'm like, yo, I'm not trying. It's humid outside, and I'm not trying to be with a bunch of people all crowded together, people
Acting
smelling
a
like
fool.
ass, acting like a fool. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, I need to go. I can't do this. But yeah, I did all that already. I've been doing that for the
Okay.
past couple of days. So I'm here, and I'm privileged and honored to be with you guys, man.
Okay. Well, if you're not gonna gloat, at least let's chop it up a little bit. We were talking a little bit off air. We're gonna continue on this because this is our first topic of this
Mhm.
episode, and that is the fact that the Knicks won the title for the first time in 53 years. You as a Knicks fan, obviously it means more to you. What does it mean for the season of the NBA coming into 26-27? Where does everyone start to line up as now their goal is to try to take down the Knicks? Do you think your Knicks can repeat? What do you think the landscape is going to look like for defending the chip for your New York Knicks?
What I think when it comes to the Knicks, I think for them to repeat, I think James Dolan needs to just shut up and not say anything and let Leo Russ and everyone do their thing. He needs to just stay away. And number two, I think a lot of the teams are gonna get a lot better. Like it depends on what the Pistons does, because I think uh, the season just passed. I think the greatest threat to the Knicks in the Eastern Conference was the Pistons. I think the rest of the Eastern Conference was weak. When you go to the Pistons, I think their style of play was similar to San Antonio. The only difference is they didn't have the talent that San Antonio has. But that aggressive play, that hard nose, put a elbow to your throat kind of defense, that was Detroit. And so I thought they would. I was just happy that they got eliminated because I think that would have been the series that I think the Knicks would have lost if they played Detroit. I'm gonna be 100%. So it all depends on what Boston does in the offseason. Do they trade Jalen Brown in a package? word going out there with like Atlanta and the Bucks where they get Giannis. That could possibly happen. I know when it comes to OKC, I know they're gonna probably retool and make that team better. And then you got San Antonio with that loss. Because if you go back to the finals, most of the time majority of the game they were in the lead. Like 70% of all the game, they were in the lead. They just couldn't
So
hold
yes,
lead.
the series the series stats show that the Spurs led 73% of the time, even into the final 2 minutes of the game. So they they were not able to hold on to leads. They had multiple 20 plus point leads that they squandered away.
And I think they're gonna be retooled, and I think they're gonna be scary next season. I think Wimby, he might honestly, I think he might have one of those scary season where he just dominates because he has that chip on his shoulder right now. So it depends on how he plays and perform. So I think it's going to be a lot harder for the Knicks to repeat. I think they have a chance to repeat, but I think it's going to be a lot harder next season.
Fair. For those listeners who recall when we did our preview of this season, Greg, myself, as well as our guest at that time, Harrison, all agreed that it was finals or bust for the New York Knicks. If it was going to happen, this was the year for it to happen. And they made it happen. Um, along the same lines here, JB, uh, the Knicks have their work cut out for them. But like Ish says, the East is not going to be as uh, primed as they were this year. The Celtics did not have Tatum for the majority of the season. Um, the Pistons played a little over past expectations. The Sixers injured, had some issues. A lot of these teams that were dangerous to the Knicks are likely going to be better and more secure. What do you feel the Knicks' chances are of being serious contenders to defend their championship?
Um, so I look at it a little bit different. Like we know Detroit doesn't have enough offensively. Um, like they put people through the gauntlet, and they were coming out playing 8, 9 guys. Everybody on the court is solid. Like I'll even say, Jalen for his size is a solid defender because he's given effort. I know that some people tried to pick on him early in the playoffs. That didn't work out too well. But I think that like if they can go into the playoffs healthy again, like I don't see. Of course, we don't know what moves might get made, but as it stands right now, like I don't see anybody in the East. To me, they're. I don't even think they necessarily reached the top of their game yet. Um, I do think that they need. So I like Thomas Robinson as a backup, but
Mm-hmm.
I think you need like one of the things that they have going for them is they got two-way players everywhere. So when Putty Tat gets in foul trouble, which is going to happen, I feel like if you have a guy that has like poses some type of offensive threat but can still defend, I think that makes them better. But I would even be okay with them bringing back Thomas Robinson. As far as having a chance to defend, like I feel like I don't like if Boston comes back like with the team that they have 100% healthy, there's still a lot of holes there. Um, Detroit, we know they need a guy.
They need a number two
Another
bona
guy.
fide scorer.
Yeah. And probably even more than that, man, because you can have two of them, but you got to have shooting. It's all got to blend together.
Well, I would say between Duncan Robinson, Cade's improved 3 point shooting. Um, don't act like Duncan didn't shoot well this season. Like I'm not. I don't pretend like he's like some great option, but
Nah, I'm with you. Like,
Duncan did his thing this year. He had a really good season.
but you
Um,
know, like what we saw,
but
like
what? So what the rumor mill is saying is that Miami wants to move off of Tyler Hero.
ooh,
That Tyler Hero will end. That Tyler, I know, but I mean Tyler. I don't. Tyler Hero is not a number one, and that's part of Miami's problem. Is
or a
they've
two,
made
or a
him his number one.
three, or a four.
I think he could be. I think he could be a. I think he's got potential, but the Heat want to move off of Tyler Hero. The Heat have made multiple offers for Giannis, so they want to move off of Hero so they can fit in Giannis. I don't know how he fits alongside with Bam, but that I'm not their GM. I'm not Pat Riley. I'm not their
I don't
president.
know how he fits with Pat Riley. Like,
Yeah, that was my other part. I don't know how he fits with Riles in Miami culture, but hey, Giannis. Giannis is a disciplined cat. He might want to decide to adhere to.
you ain't hear.
He's
You
pretty
ain't hear.
disciplined.
You
Compared to the average NBA player now,
haven't been
he's pretty
listening.
he's pretty disciplined.
They've been talking about how Giannis be coming to practice when he wants, be coming to watch film when he wants. Like they be doing, like they've been leaking some stuff, man. Some stuff has been leaked. And it could be, just where he's at. He's got carte blanche.
It could be a smear campaign. It could be true.
But
we don't hear about. We don't hear about him being drunk and stuff like Luka. We ain't hearing that stuff.
No.
But we know Giannis is going to keep himself in shape. Is he doing stuff like that to piss off the management of the Bucks? Probably. He would probably do things like that to try to force them to move on him. Because he's wanting them to move on him, and they haven't done so.
Listen, I am a fan. I'm grateful for what Pat Riley did for my organization, but in 2026, don't nobody want to play. Like they treating people like they in high school, man. Like curfews, weight clauses, like all this kind of stuff. Like I can't imagine.
Riles ain't gonna change.
No, he's not.
We know that they need to send his ass all the way to the upper room and let him just,
send him to the upper room,
not the upper, but they need
to see Jesus. You trying to send Riles to the upper room to see Jesus?
Not that room, but they need to. Like, I'm serious, man. Like, the players talk, man. Like, how in the world is Miami, Florida not a preferred destination for NBA players? No sales tax, no state tax.
I'm going to play a little devil's advocate. It's hard to go against the success that Riles has had.
What success?
What do you mean? What success? How many? One. They've won multiple championships with Riles there. 3. Right. All three championships of the franchise have been under his leadership as the GM.
And what
they made
all 3 of those?
As the president and GM.
Oh, I'm gonna bring in the best player in the league to play on my team.
Okay.
Like,
they made
all those other years. They just been weak sauce.
That's not true because they made 2 finals after that.
Which 2?
You talking about the bubble and Denver.
Boo! Both of those. They were.
You go boo it, but they got there.
They were the 8th seed, and everybody got hurt the year they played.
But did they not get there?
Everybody was hurt.
They got there.
And what did they do when they got there?
Hey, 6 games.
Dusty. Both times.
But again, they got there. It's hard to knock the success that Riles has had, and when you are in a city with extra temptation like Miami, you do need to have a couple more rules to keep your players from wilding out because you are investing a lot of money in those cats and you need to protect your investments. So I think Riles could possibly be a little easier, release the leash a little bit, sure, but I am for having structure and not budging on that structure because they need it, especially in Miami.
All right, and that structure drove LeBron away. It drove Jimmy Butler away. It drove Shaq away. Let's remember all of it. Like that structure is the kind of thing that somebody might tolerate. So you think about Giannis, for instance. At this time, he's still, to me, he's still a top 3 player in the world. I guess
Okay.
they be acting like he ain't, but he still is. He already has a championship. He wants to play somewhere where he can compete,
Mm-hmm.
and he has a drive of his own because we see it on the court.
Absolutely.
So I just don't. I mean, if I've
If
heard
he goes there
that
and
he
they,
said that he doesn't like, he's not interested in going through that drill, boot camp shit. But if he goes there, he's gonna ball. Like I don't see a situation where he's not gonna hoop. But what are you gonna have with him? Because you
that's
really
my
don't.
thing. Because I can't see Bam alongside of him. I don't know how that's supposed to work.
I think that's something I wouldn't worry about. I think Bam could fit with anybody.
Well, see, it's not the fit. It's that if Bam is your other guy next to him, like what's your perimeter play look like? You have to get rid of Hero to fit Giannis in, and he's your only other. And I'm not going to call him a marquee name, but he's the only other recognizable name you have on the perimeter there. Unless somehow
nobody wants to go there.
Hey, I mean that's part of, but but honestly, you say that, but there's somebody who is hungry and willing to sacrifice for a shot at potentially winning, and that is a place where it's been proven to give you a shot at it. So, and then here you mentioned like LeBron left and Shaq left and Jimmy Butler left. Everything is a rental in this league. Nobody can play forever, not even Bron, year 2800. But like everybody is on a rental. You just have some longer rentals and some shorter rentals. And if you get Giannis for 3-4 seasons and he gets you to 1 or 2 finals and maybe you win one, that's a success. That's a success for Miami.
And then one thing too, you got to realize is that you got to understand that players do have a decline, and so is the reward worth the how it's going to hit your organization over the years when that player start declining over years. You know what I mean? Like when Miami picked up Shaq, he was slowly on that decline, not as like that ladder that like falling down dramatically, but you start seeing him decline because him being that big, that and the way he was going wasn't going to last forever. And
I think
you say that ish. However, going to Miami extended his career because Riley made him lose all that weight, and he was able to play longer because he wasn't as heavy like he was in LA. Like,
but I gotta also throw in so you're talking about the beginning of the death of the center, and it was based off of the zone defenses and the different ways that people could play. Because even before zone, remember, like they would double Shaq sometimes. Like remember when Portland was doubling him and Kobe had to take over and B. Shaw and Robert Horry. But it's like, so they're already doing certain things. But once they were able to play zone, it's like the thing about, like, to me, if there's no zone, Shaq probably has like 5 or 6 more years of dominance. But because he didn't have any other tools, he couldn't shoot a mid-range shot. It was like they would just push him, double, triple him, force him off the block. That's how D Wade ended up having one of the best finals, appearances ever.
He went bananas in those.
Because it was like they got to put 6 guys on Shaq. So I just say that to say I think that that's a part of it. But yeah, it definitely started to decline. I mean, so Giannis, I think Giannis balls anywhere. If he's okay with the structure of being treated like a 6-year-old, then they might do some crazy stuff. I think, like you said, because I wouldn't be trying to move off Bam. So if you got him and Bam, you got to have like
you got to have a heck of a front court to deal with the two of them. Defensively, you're not getting anything in the paint.
Nothing.
with the two of them. So
Right.
and that's the thing. Like if the Heat can find somebody on the perimeter to run the offense, and you plug and play serviceable role players, and they are able to pull in Giannis, they're a dangerous team. Boston, yes, they have holes, but as long as JT and JB are there and they're healthy, they're a dangerous team. We mentioned Detroit; they need one more piece, but they're still a dangerous team. The Hawks showed with their end of the season that they could potentially be a dangerous team, and they have talent.
Right.
The Sixers are too old and too banged up. I don't believe that they can really pull it out. But if for some reason they focus on Maxey and Edgecombe and can dump Paul George and maybe they need to get out from under Paul George, and just say, hey, Joel, we just gonna play you every fifth game and keep you for the playoffs. I guess that's the plan.
Don't play him until you get to the playoffs.
Right.
Let him sit out.
I guess that's if the league didn't have the anti-tanking rules, I guess that's the plan. But like you can't
bubble wrap.
Yeah, something.
Like bring him out from
Kevlar coated bubble wrap, something. Like you got to keep that guy on the court. If he's on the court, he's amazing, but you got to keep him on the court. But Philly is still a dangerous team. You can't overlook them. So while I agree that the Knicks aren't going to be losing anything, they don't have anybody that's pending a big loss. We don't have to worry about an expansion draft peeling off anybody from this team. And the confidence is going to increase majorly with this team. And I'm interested to see how Cat plays with a more increased confidence. Jalen, I think this confidence is going to go through the roof. And, Mike Brown has
Shout out to Mike Brown.
Yeah, for real, because Tibbs wouldn't have done this, man. He wouldn't have started playing Cat like a point center. And that completely shifted how their offense moved.
He wouldn't have played the bench like all year.
Playing actual bench players. Tibbs is like, wow, well, my God, more than six players. What's going on? Yep. Shout out. I mean, you know what? Mike Brown did what he was supposed to do. They brought him in to get him over the hump. He did it. I'm extremely happy for Coach Brown. Well deserved. Great coaching job that he did. Outcoached the Spurs. He wanted it more. The Knicks wanted it more. Next year, I think is going to be. I think their shot at defending is still good. I think there's going to be more parity throughout the Eastern Conference. A lot closer. I don't think we're going to have a big 60-win team like we did. I think we're going to see a bunch of 54, 55, 49 win teams. A little bit more parity, evenly distributed amongst the top six teams. And it's going to be entertaining to watch because it's going to be rough almost every other night in the Eastern Conference.
And let me say this, because for a long time, the Garden didn't really provide home court advantage. I think that we saw a switch in this year, and I think that might be something that might carry over. You know what I mean? Because like the last few years, it's like dudes going to the Garden and act a fool. Now it's like,
opponents would like, oh, I'm going to the Garden. It's time for me to put on the show.
We get 50 tonight. So I think that's a big part of it too. If they can keep that type of home court,
bring the mystique of home court at the Garden back. Yeah.
Yep.
Because you saw there was a couple times where some of them kids, them San Antonio kids, was just looking like
they looked rattled.
Yeah, they just looked like they didn't have an idea of what was,
Especially in Game 4, that comeback, it's like they were up like 30-something points, and then
they were up 29.
And then they start chipping away, and like they were like,
I called that too. I ain't gonna lie. Like with my boys, I was like, this ain't over, because the way that the Spurs got it, they was hot as hell. What they shoot? They hit like 14 threes in the first half.
The first half they were shooting as a team 69%.
Yeah, and
That type of heat just doesn't carry for an entire game.
it's like the worst thing in the world is to have to go to halftime. When you're shooting like that.
And then you cool off. Yeah.
But luckily for the Spurs, they were like, man, we still going to shoot over and over and miss and miss and miss. Can we talk about that? Because I don't want to take away from the Knicks.
Well, we're not, but coaching matters.
But my God, bro, like that's like
my thing. Real fast, Craig. Before you go into my thing, is why did they play Harrison Burns a little bit? Because you have a guy who has experience.
I don't know if you remember Magic, but early in the season, remember I was like, Harrison Barnes is shooting that thing. Harrison Barnes started the season off balling, and then he got plucked out of the rotation. And I know what you're thinking. It's like, okay, let's let these young kids grow. I get all of that, but
and Dylan Harper really emerged throughout the year and making Harrison more and more kind of expendable.
But Harrison
however,
was playing.
When you have he was playing. The thing is,
the four though.
When you have a veteran, championship winning veteran, mind you, that is playing well, you can't take him out of the rotation completely because you need that player. You need his experience. When you turn your vet into being De'Aaron Fox, who's never been out of the first round before, you shoot yourself in the foot because the veteran that you had that was playing consistent, you took him out of the rotation. And then when you really needed him, you failed to even insert him into the game.
And I give you another one. He's not the greatest player, but he's a hustle guy. He's athletic. He'll get some fouls off, and he's an energy guy.
Oh, you talking about your boy Mason?
Plumlee.
You love Mason.
Like, you just no, So you got him, Kelly Olynyk. I'm not saying he's a baller. He's got finals experience.
I love Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk is going to lay everything down on the court. He leaves nothing behind. He gives 100% effort. You need guys like him and Plumlee because the Knicks wanted it more. That was plain. It was evident. And if you don't have guys out on the court who want it and are going to get after it, Olynyk and Plumlee are known for getting after it. You gotta combat that. You can't combat OG and Mitchell Robinson who are out there going after it. You can't combat that against guys who are just content to shoot and jog back on defense, and then come back on offense and shoot a three and jog back on defense. You've got to hustle. You've got to be diving for loose balls. You got to be setting screens. You got to be taking charges. You got to leave everything out there.
And going back to Mike Brown, like when they were down, he was just picking anyone from his roster, like to start that team. Like he put in, what's the dude's name, Hollapart in the game, and he made some critical plays in the game. And whatchamacallit, he didn't even like trust his bench, and that's why the next one is that Brown utilized his bench at the right time.
Right. And that's like going back from playing and coaching, it's like people don't understand that. Like when if I'm like, oh, I only trust these 7 guys, it adds pressure to everybody on the team. Like these are all NBA players. They all are excellent basketball players in the grand scheme of things. It's like if you can't figure out, like, because I was looking at it, like people are like ragging Wemby, and I'm like, he played like 29 minutes a game during the season.
Right.
You got him out here playing 44 minutes. Yeah. Like he's 7'9", Like you can't, and he's not a guy that he's not just running block to block. He's running sideline to sideline. He's handling the ball. He's doing all this stuff. There's no way on earth he should be playing 44 minutes. If I can't get, 6 or 7 minutes out of Plumlee and Olynyk and Cornette, then I like, what am I doing as a coach? And it's like, to me, he just, I don't want to blame it on him being young. I think that they need to make some adjustments because he's running Greg Popovich's system. I think
Right.
they need to make some adjustments. You can't dial up an easy bucket or get an open look. You can't. You don't have no out of
Well,
bounds plays.
that was a massive failure. I will
Right.
say, however, Mike Brown being the opposing coach did not help because
He knows that
part of that
system.
coaching system,
Mhm.
and he knows that system to a T.
And
However,
he got
regardless of the system, I'm going to continue to say it because I'm sure it will never happen. Wemby is 7 foot freaking 3. Even though he doesn't have the muscle mass,
three.
What's
maybe
that?
7'5".
7'4".
I thought 7'3" was the official measurement.
I thought it
That
was
was
7'4".
what they lied in the beginning, and then they said he grew an inch. He's about. I think
he
he's
7'5"
between.
now?
I think he's between 7'5" and 7'6".
Okay,
But
so let's say 7'5". He's 7'5". Even though he doesn't have the muscle mass or the strength to bully somebody, you can get your 7'5" self within 10 feet of the basket. Put your back to the basket. Make yourself a target to catch the ball and turn and shoot for an easier basket. You shouldn't be out there jacking threes when you need easy, close baskets. Get yourself into position to score easy baskets. Didn't do it.
I understand that concept, but I watched Alvarado bully him. Like he's 200 and what?
No,
They say he's 200.
I'm not saying bully. I'm not saying bully because you know what? Mike didn't always bully his way. He moved along the baseline, got himself in position to catch the ball in the sweet spot. Same as Kobe.
Right.
Even though you're not built like a big man, he could have gotten his butt to the high post, to the elbow,
but you see him
to get some easy shots.
But you see him, it's the same thing with KD. Like you see him trying to establish position, and he gets pushed off of. I don't
want him establishing position. I want him to get to a spot to catch the ball to make something happen. Right. I don't want him trying to seal and establish position.
No, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying when you saw it, like he tried to run through the lane, he tried to run through the baseline. They just pinballing his ass, just bouncing him all over the place.
Yes, because you can tell he's not used to playing that way.
Absolutely, and but that's where it's got to be creative because he's not going to be able to just walk to a spot or even lightly jog to a spot. You have to figure out ways to get some kind of action.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what we're both looking for.
Yes, I agree.
Like I watched, you watched. It was like the way they were bumping him. And I'll say this too, because I've been trying to defend him a little bit. The amount of contact, the grabbing, the holding, and the beating him up, I understand why he would be frustrated.
It is the NBA Finals.
But you got to remember, they get to play in the regular season. You're not allowed to breathe on me. You know what I'm saying? So, this is part of his learning. Is to understand, expect a different level of physicality.
Yeah. But playoff basketball is still real man basketball.
Right. But
and then on top of it, he gotta earn that. He the referee, the amount of years that Jordan did for years.
They was doing off the ball. They was grabbing him, locking his arms, pulling his jersey, pushing him. There's one play where Alvarado, I was cracking up laughing because I don't care. I'm a little dude.
I saw that too.
I like to. He tried to trip him with his leg, and he didn't trip him. Then he tried to sweep the leg with his arm, and then after that he does a lunge crotch shot tackle.
And he tried to chop block him that. I was like, yo, what? I'm all for bumping. I'm all for a little grabbing. I'm all for that. You got to make him earn it. But when he almost cut block him, this ain't the NFL. The NFL took that crap out. You can't be cut blocking people, man.
And there's that one play where Jalen ran into Castle. They called a foul on Castle, and then Jalen tripped, and he's going straight, and then he mysteriously veers to the left and takes out Wemby's legs. I think that's the one that got where Wemby came back and did the mush. You know what I'm saying? It's so the refereeing was all over the place. That game, Game 4, like when they called Castle out on the baseline, I'm like, I saw it in real time. I'm like, he's not out of bounds. He
He
wasn't out
wasn't
of
out of
bounds.
bounds. Yeah.
And they showed it over and over. The play at the end, bro, when Dylan was taking the ball out, and he had a whole bunch of people like staring. That's not supposed to happen.
No, it's not.
The referees are supposed to.
They're supposed to clear that area.
Yeah, I was laughing because the Knicks fans were like, saying the Spurs are getting away with all this stuff. I'm like, man, y'all, I get it. I've been there. Since I don't have a dog in the fight, I'm just trying to watch some good basketball.
Yes.
And I can see malarkey on both sides of that goal. Like all kinds of shady stuff happening, man. And the rest is just like,
yeah.
It's tough, but it's hard to officiate. So
it is. It is hard. I don't man, that the finals in New York, the level of expectation, you got to try, you've got this, future, big, you have this big time, I don't want to call him the face of the league, but you got a big time player who's a major marketing tool for the league that you need to be in these type of moments. So, it was interesting, to say the least. But speaking of interesting, Rick Brunson, for those who don't know, Rick Brunson is the father of the Finals MVP, Jalen Brunson. And while speaking with Charles Inside Crew post game after winning the championship, Rick Brunson had an interesting comment to make, sitting right next to his son, and declaring that Patrick Ewing is still a greater Knick than his Finals MVP championship winning son. My question to you two, my panel this evening, is: has Jalen Brunson surpassed Patrick Ewing in your eyes?
No, I disagree. I think Patrick Ewing almost basically carried that team for almost 2 decades. And so he's going to still be the greatest Knick of all time. Brunson is I would say he's up there as the greatest playoff Knick of all time, because one, he won the championship, and the things he did in the 2 years the Knicks in the playoffs that he's done has carried that team. But yeah, Patrick Ewing is still the greatest Knick of all time. The stuff he did for that team without even having a squad with him in his early time. And then I also think about what that Knicks team could have been if Bernard King didn't get hurt, but he got hurt. And so you can't go back to the past to think what that Knicks team would be with a healthy Bernard King.
No, it's a big what if. I have it in my list of what ifs to talk about, because it's a huge what if is Bernard King don't get hurt, because him and Pat on the same squad would have been filthy.
Yes.
And actually, one thing people forget about that team too, if he would have stayed off the booger sugar, they would have had Michael Ray Richardson, yes, Patrick Ewing, and Bernard King.
Yeah. And then
would have been frightening
if Patrick's not hurt against the Spurs
in '99.
Yeah. So I'm always weird about this because, like, I feel like Walt Frazier just gets like left out.
You see, I was going to rebut Ish with a different name, but continue.
Yeah. I feel like Walt Frazier gets left out. I think so. We're in this era now where it's like it can only be one, right? So we ignore like OG, like when everybody else was playing like crap. Jalen and OG were hooping. OG, got that game 4 for him. Like, there's the game Josh had hit all them threes like earlier. Like that's like a total team effort. Right. And so it's like they're hoisting Jalen up. And if we want to say he's MVP, like depending on how that last game went, MVP was up in the air.
Facts.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I remember Pat, and I wasn't a Knicks fan, but I was a Patrick Ewing fan. I remember him on the court with a bunch of like football players, dog. Like I remember Pat Riley. Like, I still that Houston series. Like, people talk about that series. That was a winnable series. It went to
Yes,
Game 7,
they should have won
and
that
Yeah.
series.
you got shooters
Yes. I
on
agree.
your squad, but you sitting here letting you got
Right.
real scorers: Rolando Blackman,
Rolando,
Derek
you
Harper,
need outside scoring,
Yep.
and you
and
say,
Yep.
and
John
no, let
Starks,
me,
we love
yeah,
you. You're streaky,
You're
but
swimming away.
we have Hubert Davis on this bench. We have Rolando Blackman on this bench.
yeah.
We need some outside shooting because Kenny Smith is ripping the nets out. Yeah, like John, you were really great in Game 6. Great. You're not hitting a broadside of a barn in Game 7. Let's put some other guys in. Maybe let Derek Harper take a shot. I don't know. But I would say this. I This current generation loves recency bias. They're addicted to recency bias.
Right.
I'm not a Knicks fan, but as someone who loves Patrick Ewing, not past tense, um, has an appreciation and respect for the Knicks franchise. As an objective lover of basketball, I can't ascend Jalen to certain heights as the greatest Knick. I understand why people would particularly put Patrick above it because he was a Warrior for almost 20 years. Um, he didn't have the level of talent around him. He had some really good teams. Let's not tear down the teams he had. He had some really good teams around him. Um, but it was different. It was a different time, and he was still primarily the focal point. And better coaching could have had him in a championship. I think we all agree in '94. To me, the greatest Knick is still Willis Reed. I don't know how you take that title away from an MVP and a two-time champion, and the guy who had the seminal come from an injury to inspire your team moment in NBA history for the longest time.
And then Walt came
The
out and closed
longest
that
time.
thing out. Now,
No. Pearl closed that thing out.
I thought it was Walt.
That
I thought Walt.
backcourt. Walt was running things, but Pearl
Was it Game 6? He had almost a triple double that game. Clyde didn't he have?
No, I didn't
almost
say
a
he
triple-double?
didn't. Game 7, Clyde was dishing it to Pearl, hitting them jumpers.
really, what was? Pull that
Check
up.
the stats, Greg.
I
Go
used
go
to
go.
know that by heart. Now, I'm not gonna talk bad about Walt Frazier because
I'm not talking bad about Walt Frazier. I'm just saying to me,
You're-
Willis Reed is a little bit above Clyde. Clyde was doing his thing in that second title run. Willis was more for that first one, and this the whole, of course, the inspirational moment. And he had to freaking guard Wilt Chamberlain.
But
Clyde didn't have to guard no Wilt Chamberlain.
But Clyde was also, doing his thing in the first one too. But
Yeah,
I'm
he
not
was.
going to talk bad about Willis because he went to the Grambling State University.
Yes,
So we always gonna big up the OG for that. But yeah, I mean, I could take either one of them. And I get it. Willis Reed, he put in like some real work in his career. So yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with that. Look at these numbers. This is ridiculous numbers.
I'm just going back to Patrick Ewing. Is that Reed had Clyde, and Clyde had Reed. Patrick Ewing really didn't have a stable point guard. He had Mark Jackson for a little bit.
Yeah,
and you had
and
Ron
that was dumb.
Strickland.
Trading Mark Jackson was stupid.
That was dumb.
Rod Strickland.
And then after that, you had Ron Harper. And don't get me wrong, Ron Harper was a great. Derek Harper. My bad. Derek Harper was a beast defense, but I want to say he was your typical point guard. And to Patrick Ewing's defense, he needed a stable point guard to put him in the position where he could get the ball in his spots, and he really didn't have that.
I would disagree with that. I would say the point guards they had were serviceable to get at the ball. What he needed was a secondary score.
Yeah,
that you could depend on. He didn't have that same problem my Pistons had.
And maybe he didn't play him.
And Rolando was a little too old to depend upon
But
that
Rondo
heavily.
could still get buckets in
No,
it.
he could get buckets, but to depend on that heavily. So remember, the deal that they made was for Charles Smith because they thought Charles Smith was going to be Clippers Charles Smith and was going to be able to provide that offensive spark that they needed. And we all saw what happened there. He ain't had no heart.
Nope. Yeah, none.
So I mean, and so that put that. It's just Patrick had. Now what? Okay, you know, speaking of what ifs, and another one on my list, one of the biggest what ifs. And Ish, I'm not sure if you knew about this, but in 1994, with the Knicks playing well, they were supposed to trade for Isaiah Lord Thomas III before he in '94 before he popped the Achilles. They were supposed to trade for him instead of getting Derek Harper.
All I'm saying is in that game 7, 23 points, 5 assists, 50% shooting, knocked down a couple of threes. I don't. He was the lead.
Threes? There were no threes in 1973.
I'm talking about Derek Harper.
Okay.
Harper.
I thought you was like, well, threes.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't think Derek
I love Harper
was the weak link on that team. I think if anything, he could have done more. This man shot 2 for 18 from the field, 0 for 11 from 3.
Oh, you talking about Starks?
Points. Yeah.
He had a terrible game.
Right? Yeah.
He had a terrible game, and all you had to do
was
Pat
Riley's fault. That's
no, 100% Pat Riley's fault. Because what he should have done, even if he kept Starks in the game, what he should have done is give the ball to the big man and say, win or lose, we're going through you. You're the one who led us here. You're the one who got us here. John Starks isn't the one that got him there.
Yeah, but he got the African on him, like the African.
I know that, but that doesn't matter. You got to let him go one-on-one. You got to let him go right at the African.
I'm just saying
because that's what they did. They let him go right at Patrick. You got to let him go right back at him.
But
Patrick had a good NBA Finals that season.
He had a really good finals.
He held his own against Hakeem, but I will say Hakeem kind of got the better of him. But Rudy wasn't afraid to let him do it. Yeah, to ride or die with him. Yeah, right. Riley should have ride or died with Patrick.
Yeah,
but no, man, you got to let this man keep shooting bricks. I remember watching that game, just like, what in the world are we doing here? I lived in Louisiana at the time. We used to get forced to watch Mavericks games because we had the Mavericks channel, because we right by Dallas, and I used to watch Rolando Blackman torture people. Like, he was just easy buckets.
And what's funny about that is that you had Derek Harper, and Rolando Blackman, who was the starting backcourt of those Dallas playoff runs in the late 80s. They had the chemistry. They knew what to do, and it's one game. You're not asking Rolando to be the number 2 all year. Yep. You need to win one last game.
And I say if they did that, Blackman could have been the Shamit of the Knicks in this current playoff.
Yeah, you couldn't leave him alone at the 3-point line. You had to guard him. You had to respect him. He was a bucket.
Instant, yeah.
He was a long range sniper. You had to respect him. So even if Starks stays in the game and he's giving the ball, I'm saying hypothetically, even if he was in the game, but no, Starks was best attacking the basket. So even if Starks stays in the game, Rolando's there, spreading the floor, at least making it a little easier for John to penetrate. Maybe he can get a dunk instead of bricking a whole bunch of jump shots. That could have changed. That could have changed things.
Yeah,
he had players. He if you didn't trust Rolando, maybe Rolando's too old. Hey, Hubert Davis is known for shooting the ball. Put him out there.
Rolando was 33. The year before in Dallas, he was 18,
almost
18 points on 46% shooting. You come to the Knicks and you chop that in half. you cut his minutes, and
Everything.
then you cut him all the way out of the playoffs, man. Get out.
Yeah, completely out of the rotation.
I think Riley just didn't like him. I think Riley just didn't like him.
Now Pat Riley is stubborn. Like he's
very stubborn.
Tom Thibodeau Senior. It's like he's gonna go with what he wants to do.
What he believes is gonna work. Yeah.
Remember, John Starks was a find. John Starks was bagging groceries. He was, you pulled him out.
Starks made him look like a genius.
Yeah, you pulled him out of CBA. So it's like, you want to ride. Like, look what I did. And it's like, no, it's no time for that. Like.
Do you think he saw him as like a Byron Scott? That's why he kept on using him like that?
No,
because he had Byron.
Because B. Scott would have been bricking shots like that. B. Scott would have been bricking shots like that, man.
Look, if B. Scott missed a couple of those, he gonna go dunk on somebody or do some angry stuff. Byron Scott, I'll tell people all day, he's a Hall of Fame player if he's not playing for the Lakers.
Yeah.
I remember he gave it to the Knicks in the Eastern Conference, and for some apparent reason they didn't put him in the second half.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the Pacers?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, B. Scott was that dude, man. Yeah. I just always I remember watching it just like, bruh, what is this man doing? Like, at what point do you pull him out? Like, this is the finals. This is a championship. I guess since he already had some rings, it wasn't. Maybe he didn't feel it was that important, but no.
Or maybe Pat Riley thinking, all right, after this season, the next season, that's it. I'm done with being the coach of the Knicks. He made his mind up after that series. He's like, you know what? One more year, I'm done.
I mean, he left not that long afterwards.
Right?
Yeah, he left from Miami not that long afterwards.
He made his mind up.
It was like 1 or 2 seasons. No, it was the one season. He lasted one more season, and he was gone.
Yeah,
he made his mind up already in that finals. Like, you know what? I'm going to Miami.
Yeah, and that was that game. I distinctly remember everybody breaking. I think Vernon Maxwell played well for the Rockets, but nobody was like, Vernon had 21, but him and that's just unfortunate.
Did Sam Cassell have a breakout?
Who?
In that Sam Cassell. Didn't he have a breakout in that series too? Sam Cassell?
I mean, he played well for a rookie, but I wouldn't call it a breakout.
Yeah, him and I just remember that time because it was him that year, and then him and Ori the next year. They just kept making big plays, important plays that you just damn. And then, but Sam did start cutting in a little bit to Kenny Smith's minutes this year.
Yeah. The Rockets had role players that were ready to do what we've been saying that Riley needed the Knicks to do.
Yeah.
Mario Ellie hitting huge shots for the Rockets. Robert Horry hitting huge shots for the Rockets. Cassell, Kenny Smith, Mad Max. As much credit as we give Olajuwon, and he deserves it, that and Otis Thorpe, people forget how important he was that first title run.
I loved Otis.
Otis Thorpe was very important that first title run.
He was guarding Ewing some.
He was guarding Ewing a lot too. Yeah. They had a squad around, the big African that was really a team that you could not underestimate or overlook. And they had a coach in Rudy T who knew what he had and was going to utilize it. Right. And that when we get to this level, we're talking about finals. That's what really separates a lot of the great coaches. When we talk about, when we like to talk about GOATs and upper echelon levels of players, and when you talk about upper echelon levels of coaches, those things, those adjustments, those changes is what's really going to separate, who has more titles and such. Because as good as Riles is as a coach, I can't say he's better than some other coaches because he had the opportunities to make those adjustments in a lot of situations, and he didn't do so because he was coaching some of those Miami teams that could have been better and gone farther. That 99 Miami team had no business losing to them Knicks, but they did. Yep. And that was coaching, and that was on Riles.
Yep.
94 with the Knicks. That's coaching. That's on Riles. And a lot of Riles' success was hung on Magic and Cap.
Yep.
Yep. And that's the one thing too. That's why the Pistons won that championship in '89 was Riley didn't make no adjustments when it came to like certain players not performing, and then also like trying to figure out how you stop Vinny Johnson.
Yeah, I think
Vinny Johnson killed him.
I think we skated by the year before. I feel like we just kind of skated.
That's why I love this. No,
that's
why I love you, man. Because you and the few Laker fans that can be honest about what happened in '88.
I still don't remember a foul being I saw a real foul, but the Pistons gave us everything we wanted. And to be honest, man, that's like the third year in a row in the finals, and like playing in them old gym shoes, we were
in them Converse weapons.
Yeah, so everybody's bodies were falling apart. It was hard. I mean, you're talking 8 finals in 8
years? No, in 9 years.
I'm just saying, it was 8 in 8-9 years.
It was 8-9 years. Yeah.
Because that was the final where Scott got hurt, right?
Byron's hamstring, and
he got hurt.
And then
Magic's was tweaked, and then he couldn't play more than a few minutes in game 2.
Right. Kareem was very old.
Kareem was on his last legs, and then they had to put in Tony Campbell, who the Pistons didn't like because he wasn't performing for us, and so when he got on the court, they were like, "Oh, we gonna mess him up." And James was the only one we had to really worry about, and he couldn't do it by himself.
Didn't they also put in what's his name, Orlando Woolwich too? Was he? He was playing a lot too.
No, I don't think he was.
I don't think Orlando was. I'm trying to think.
Hold on.
With that
Orlando on that '89 team.
It's just a blur for me. It tough.
I don't remember Orlando being on the '89. I mean, I remember him as a Laker. I'm trying to remember if he was on that '89 team. He might have been. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, he was. He was on that team.
Yeah, he was. He was on that team. Yeah, he was.
Oh, that was so sad, such sad times. I didn't deserve that, man.
I liked Orlando. He was a good player.
Yeah, he was. Them drugs, man, maybe derailing people's careers. We thought he was gonna be like when he was with what was that, Chicago? We thought he was gonna be like a world beater.
Oh, him and Mike together when looked scary.
Yeah.
But he good player, couldn't keep it together. But yeah, he was averaging over 20 a game in with the Bulls. Like he was scary, man. All right, so let's get to the main subject of this evening. Staying on the New York State of Mind. Oh, but Pearl dropped 23 in that final game, leading all scorers for the Knicks, shooting over 60% from the field. So
which game are we talking about here?
Game 7?
Game 5, 73, Pearl. 53% from the field, 8 of 15, 7-11 from the line, 2 boards, 4 dimes, 23 points. Now Clyde had a ball game, 18 and 9, had himself a ball game.
And most of those assists was probably to Pearl too, right?
Oh yeah. He was feeding Pearl on that elbow and Pearl worked. Yeah, of course most of them assists are to Pearl. Pearl and the Willis, or to Senator Bill Bradley shooting that flat set shot
in buckets.
Yo, Senator Bradley hit a lot of set shots, man.
Yes, he did.
But it was wet. All right, so the last topic. This topic was brought off offline. I thought there was some similarities. I made an error because these players are not both left-handed. Jalen is left-handed, but the other player was not. So our good brother Ish here suggested to me that he thought Jalen Brunson, his game was very similar to someone we mentioned previously in this episode, and that is the microwave Vinny Johnson. So it says that they are similar. I threw it past GB, and he was like, "Nah." So I'm gonna let them make their case, and I'm gonna then post a poll to see who you listeners agree with the most. So since the premise was originally yours, Ish, I'm gonna let you present your case first on why you believe that Jalen Brunson's game, or just Jalen Brunson reminds you of the microwave Vinny Johnson, who 30 something years ago recently hit a jumper to send the Trailblazers home and give the Pistons back-to-back championships in
Boo.
1990.
I'm gonna break it down like this. When you talk about a player in similarities of creating their own shot, um, being physical, um, if you looked at their games, compare their games wise, like when they get into the mid range, it's always they back up the player. They're always that one hand lean shot all the time. A very effective 3-point shooter. I would say Jalen's a better 3-point shooter overall. But when you talk about physicality as a guard, they were both physical guards. Um, they both could carry a team because if you look at like how fourth quarter wise, when you look at Vinny Johnson with the Pistons, if you go to some of those final games, like for example, like when they played Portland Blazers, he scored what like 15 points in a row, and that played a major role in the Pistons winning the NBA championship. And then like if like look at some of his younger days, like when he played with the Sonics, like he was a beast. Like if you see a videotape between him and how Jalen played, you would think they're almost similar. Just the way they play and how they control the game by maximizing their talent in the mid range. And I feel like in today's NBA, I think Vinny Johnson would be a superstar in the league.
Okay. Um, Greg, your rebuttal?
So I hear what you're saying about the mid range thing. I just think like it's such like stark differences. Like Vinny was like an explosive athlete. He had like arms gifted by God, could touch the ground without bending over. Like, so he was like kind of a specimen. It's like he's 6'2", but his arms make him, 6'7". Um, High jump shooting. I think for me, because I like when I started thinking about it, I was trying to figure out who is a player that I would kind of compare Jalen to. And I kind of came up with like a less athletic Nick Van Exel with Kobe Bryant's brain. And the reason why I say that is his attention to detail is just like so much further. Like if you look at the footwork and how he utilizes his feet and his body to get to the spots that he wants to get to, like Vinny could just hit you with that hip a couple times and turn around and shoot over you. But it's like Jalen, like I remember, and not too far long ago, where Jalen struggled because he would beat people off the dribble, but he doesn't really elevate. So they was just like beating it. I don't know if y'all remember, he kind of got pulled out of the rotation um, in the Olympics, the Jason Tatum Olympics. Um, like he kind of got pulled out the rotation because all the Euros was like, just let him get past you and then block his shot. So he's like the craftiness. It's just to me, Vinny was kind of I say he like kind of like a home run hitter. It's like he's just gonna come in the game and get buckets. But Jalen is like to be able to do that and have such a level of control over the game. I just don't see. I totally agree with you with the mid range, but he like his craftiness, like so. Nick Van Exel, one of my favorite players, that lefty that just always kept people off balance. He was really good with using his body. I feel like if you had him in the league today with the rules like they are,
Right.
he would be a problem.
And he was athletic.
Yeah, and he was clutch as hell. But Jalen doesn't even have the the blessing of that athleticism.
Correct.
So like he's playing on 2 feet, which is another thing. Like you look at this dude, like I fine tuned. I'm like focusing in. He's doing post footwork on the perimeter. You know, like bop, hop, skip. Change directions, like all that kind of stuff. It's like his attention to detail. I feel like that's why I give him that Kobe part, where it's like I'm just gonna have a counter for everything that you do defensively, and so to the way to have the mental capacity to control a game, they say he's 6'2". I haven't.
He's probably 6'1".
Yeah,
in shoes, 6 foot, probably reality wise.
For some reason, I haven't seen him play live. I've seen just about everybody, but I haven't seen him to be able to tell. But he's stocky. Of course he's quick, like compared to us regular humans.
Yes.
But like when you look at on the court, you look at how De'Aaron Fox can just say, "I'm going to go by you," and I'm going to go by you. I don't see that. Like for him,
he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that speed.
Yeah. But Nick Van Exel did. But I'm just saying.
No, I see what you're saying. I'm gonna. Initially, I was more convinced. When Ish first brought this to me, because when he said it, the first thing that went to my mind is
the Pistons. I love the Pistons.
No, the first thing that went to my mind is, well, you think about what we call Jalen. We call him Big Body Brunson. Why? Mm-hmm. He's got big shoulders. He's strong, and he utilizes it. Something that was also very reminiscent of Vinny. Vinny would bully. I mean, if you've never seen Vinny Johnson, it looks like he has bowling balls for shoulders because they were so big and so muscular. So that's a stark, very real comparison that made a lot of sense. They sent me a link to some of Vinny's highlights, and I just watched them, and I'm like, okay, physically, the way their bodies are built and that they're both strong and they can bully themselves close to the basket, create separation, and hit that mid-range, that is a great comparison. But unfortunately, that is where it ends. Jalen does, and not Vinny's fault. He was never in a position where he was the guy. I think we would have seen a lot more out of Vinny if he was ever the guy on the team. So we know how explosive he was as an athlete and his explosive ability to score. Jalen, while I think closer to Nick, I honestly think and Greg, you did a fantastic job breaking down how Jalen plays, because it is very low to the ground. He really can't barely jump over a broomstick. And he's quick, but he's not fast. Who he reminds me of is another Nick guard, strong.
I know where you're going.
Moves on the perimeter. You know where I'm going?
I know where
you're going with. Who am I saying?
Ron Strickland.
No. Mark Jackson.
I don't know.
Not short, broad-shouldered, fantastic footwork, clutch, lateral movement to run the game. He runs the game from the free throw line in. That's where Mark Jackson ran the team, except for he went even a little deeper into the post and would run the offense through the post.
He'd put you on the block.
Yes, and back you down. Body-wise, IQ-wise, running his team-wise, clutch moments, I think he's a very close, better version of Mark Jackson.
My only pushback there would be just the fact that Mark was a playmaker first. Like
Right.
And,
That's the
and
main difference. Is Jalen is a scorer first, then playmaker. Mark clearly clears in playmaking, but
right.
the way they
But
run
if Mark,
the way they run
Mark would have been
offenses,
more offensive minded. Yeah,
yes, the way they run their offenses and running them inside the 3-point line and being able to do with force instead of finesse. Well, there is finesse, but it's so forceful. And despite the fact that athletically, the person defending him is probably more athletic, probably quicker, probably faster, they still can't stop him. And Mark had that ability to do that, and Jalen has that very frustratingly tough thing. Like I can't stop this guy,
right.
despite the fact that
He's the littlest dude on the court.
I should be beating him to
Right.
the spot, but I'm not. I think there's a really strong comparison between the two of them, especially on the offensive side, and also defensively. Both of them are better defenders than people give them credit for.
Mm.
And they will both sometimes get picked on because of their lack of height, but it's not either for lack of effort or lack of defensive knowledge or prowess. It's just they sometimes get picked on because of matchup, but they're not bad defenders either. So I think there's a lot of comparison between Mark and Jalen.
I could see that as far as like how they get to their spots.
Yes.
How they use their body. I can see that. I think Jalen is a way more like advanced scorer.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
The mind of a scorer.
Yes.
But like, because Mark, I don't even.
Mark's job was setting everybody up.
Yeah.
The only time he really was putting the ball in the basket much was with the Clippers, and still even there, he was trying to set up Jeek and he was trying to set up Ron Harper to feeding them.
He was a true floor general.
He's a true PG.
He's a dude that I honestly think should be in the Hall of Fame. It's weird to me how like in other sports, like you might not have been the greatest at everything, but if you hit, you were a great home run hitter or you hit for average, you know what I'm saying? But then in basketball, it's like, oh yeah, you could be one of the lead. You could retire as like the second highest guy in assists.
He was third when he retired, but yeah,
you know what I mean. But
I mean, as much as I love Mark, I still go to the thing. Can I tell the story? Can I tell the story of the NBA without this guy? As much as I love Mark Jackson, I can tell the story of the NBA and not mention Mark Jackson. Great actor. Great.
Can get in. Then Mark Jackson can get in.
Can't tell. Unfortunately, there's an important chapter in the league that you can't tell without Ben Wallace.
What? That the Lakers like fumbled away. That they fumbled away a championship due to petty beefs and come on, man. Don't nobody even remember who was on y'all's team, bro.
Oh yeah, as you see them going flashing across your eyes.
This man averaged 3 points.
But I want to add a little. I want to add a little bit to what you were saying, Magic. I would say he has a little Ron Strickland in him as well too, because how he used angles. And Ron Strickland was the master of using angles, and he was slow as shit, but he was always able to find his spots. He was a master of layup, especially when it comes to a big man.
Man, that layup package, whew.
Which Jalen has kind of that layup package almost. I would say not that level, not that level of Ron Strickland.
No. You got to roll back that almost. Only player right now, Kyrie, the only one close to that layup package. That layup package is filthy.
But you hear where I'm coming from when you talk about how Jalen.
No, the angles, absolutely. Just walk back that layup package.
Yeah, Jalen is excellent at like getting you off balance, getting in front of you, and then cutting you off to where you can't get back.
He is great at getting his defenders leaning, and when they start to lean, he can pull it and make his move. Very good at getting them to lean.
And it's partly because, like I said, he just got counters for everything. So it's like how you can go into it saying, "Oh, I'm gonna cut his left off." It's not like James Harden. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You cut his left off. Okay, I'll go right.
Okay, cool. I'll go.
I can do that too.
Yeah, he's one of the few lefties where it's like most of them you just make them go right, and
Right.
their effectiveness vastly declines. You can make him go right. He's like, cool, I'll go right. I'm
Mhm.
good with that.
And it's like you automatically you're looking at this dude, you know he got the green light. How do you know, like I'm thinking of myself as a defender, what am I gonna try to take away from him? Like what
Right.
am I gonna
Right.
offer? Like, okay, I'll let you have this, because he filthy from the mid range, he filthy from three. He just
I
like
would say
I
he's. If I'm a defender, honestly, my only goal is to try to stay between him and the basket and make him shoot threes. He can hit them, but he's
Right.
streaky from three.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
He's streaky from there. So if I can make Jalen shoot a lot of threes, I've done my job. If he's getting free throw line down extended, it's game over. There's nothing I can do.
And I've seen in his game, like he used a lot of that Dirk, that one leg fadeaway. So I know he picked that up from Dirk too when he was with the Mavs.
No. Well, I won't say no to that. I'll say, like they were talking about it, when they were at Villanova. Like Jay Wright, like he had them every day. They start off like the whole team doing post footwork, doing 2 foot drills, right? And so it's like it's one like I was trying to explain to my boys, like part of the reason why De'Aaron Fox doesn't, like he's not the kind of closer you need, is because it's usually all or nothing with him, right?
Right.
He gets going to the goal, he's gonna jump off one leg and throw something up, or he's gonna shoot like a step back. But when you're playing like with a base and your feet are on the ground, it's like you're
Mhm.
as long as you don't pick your dribble up, the world is your oyster.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's like I'm just gonna keep my dribble. I'm gonna stay even keel, and then when it's time to explode, I got so many different options.
Yeah.
So that's like I was watching, and they were talking about that, and he was like, because Jalen was saying like the first year, he's like, man, so why I'm doing post work, like what but it's like it comes in handy, man. Like being like when I coached, I used to say there's like 5 gears. Some players, like a player like Russell Westbrook, he got gear
One gear.
One
one
game.
and five. He can go
Yep.
from first to fifth,
Right.
That's
but
it.
second,
Yep.
third, fourth, like the in
Yep.
between, getting to like certain spots and then getting up a good shot. Because a lot of
Right.
guys, like De'Aaron Fox, you could see he can get to spots, but it's like a rush shot. It's not
Right.
like Jalen, man, that dude, like them fourth quarters of this, this finals, you could that people need to study that. He
Well,
wasn't missing anything.
and shout out to Coach Wright, who was a underrated and undervalued collegiate coach. Um, I mean, it goes. Hey, I sound like an old man. I am an old man. It comes down to fundamentals. Your
Yes.
higher fundamental players are
Yep.
going to be able to perform in the clutch better
Yep.
than your pure athletes. And
Yep.
De'Aaron Fox compared to Jalen Brunson is exactly that. De'Aaron Fox, while hyper athletic, is not the most fundamentally structured player. And you can rely on your fundamentals, like you said, because it's a base, it's the foundation that you build your house of skills upon. And when
Yep.
you have that and your legs are tired and your lungs are sore and
Mhm.
you can rely and go to that base. It is there. It is going to keep you up. You don't have to
Yep.
worry about the fatigue of trying
Yep.
to pull off something athletic late in
Yep.
the game. You can do one, two, hit your spot, be in rhythm. Everything's natural. It's instinctive. And it's such a big difference, and it always will be what separates the stars from the above average players. It separates stars from superstars is that level of fundamentals.
I
And
agree. I agree. It's like
that's it.
that level of fundamentals. They can slow the game down, even though the game goes at a quick pace at 100 miles per hour. But those great players, they could just slow the game down and they can pick their spots.
And they can, and if they need to speed up, they can speed up. You can play at any pace when you have fundamentals.
Yeah.
You can play the grinded 90s where the game is 82 to 75, or you can be in the running gun 80s with Doug Moe in Denver, and you're scoring 140 points a night. It doesn't matter because you've got your fundamentals, and you can do those, and you can change up as you need. But if you don't have it, you're not going to be able to do what's needed when called upon, because your body, you're gonna ask your body to do things. It's not I'm gonna do this move and I'm gonna leap and kind of hope for it. No, I'm gonna do what I know. I'm gonna get to my sweet spot. I'm gonna tween like we are not talking about him. I'm just going to throw him out there because he's very fundamental, and there's a reason, and he always gets his buckets. ISO Joe Johnson, one of the most fundamental players you'll ever see, and if you watch and you look at reels of basketball players, they will tell you does the same thing all the time. Tween has he pull.
Yep.
Same time every time, and you could not stop it. Tween has he pull. Tween has he pull. Dribbling in the box, between the legs, has he pull.
Man.
Fundamentals.
One of my favorite players
every time.
Play basketball too. Like he's another one of those guys where it's like he just doesn't get like the credit. Like literally, he's the only dude on that team, those teams that could create a shot. And you still can't stop him from getting buckets. Like
and you know what he's going to do every single time. Doesn't matter. Because when those things are so honed and so instinctive, the defense is at your mercy. And Jalen showed that the Spurs were at his mercy. And it was masterful to watch. It was wonderful to watch. A triumph for fundamental basketball, a triumph for coaching for Coach Brown, a triumph for coaching for that coaching staff, including Rick Brunson, who all collectively did a fantastic job on that coaching staff. If anybody is the MVP, the true MVP of this series, it's coaching. Coaching won this championship a lot.
Also, maybe Jeremy Sohan, because I'm sure he went in there. And
he would have got a ring regardless. Did he play a single second?
Yeah, he played. But I'm saying I'm sure that he gave everything.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he said everything. Yeah. Oh yeah, because he was not happy. Yeah. Every bad tendency. Hey, this guy's lazy here. This guy's this. Yeah. Jeremy Sohan.
Yeah. He I thought that's another thing. I think that he's a solid player that can help. Like if they decide to keep running with him, because he went from being a starter and like just
they threw him to the curb. He became like their 15th player. They released him. They didn't even trade him. They just dumped him. Go by.
I think they did. I think they probably did that like to help him. Like looking out
as a favor.
Yeah, give him a chance, and boy did they. But I am 100% sure they sat down. I don't know if the Spurs have any automatics because it looks like they're just playing LA Fitness ball. Like, but like inbound plays, like I'm pretty sure he gave.
I mean, I'm sure they have some. So the problem with the Spurs is that it's tough because their offense did not differ a whole lot from the Robinson years to the Duncan years. And now,
remember, like after Duncan. Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it differed when they had the two of them together, but the way it was run when Robinson was the focal point and when Duncan was the sole focal point, it was very similar on how they ran their plays and went through all their automatics. While they have another tower guy, he's not in the post like those two were. Their offense does get very stagnant at times. And what they do right now, really is very reliant upon their athletic perimeter guys in
Yeah.
Castle, Harper, Fox, and if they aren't performing, it's tough, and it's extremely perimeter based, which is
Right.
odd for a Popovich. Even though he's not the coach, he's still the president. The fact the ball movement is not like it was.
But remember, so like that last finals against Miami was probably the height of ball movement in the world. Like they
Yes,
were moving the ball all kinds of crazy.
but not. I can't even say that because like some years where they didn't win, they were still competing. Like that year they had. I mean, it was Duncan. It was still Parker and Ginobili, but they had Brent Berry out on the wing, Matt Bonner out there. They were moving. They were moving the ball. It was
Yeah.
zip, 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 six,
Yeah.
7, 8 pass, boom. Like they were
Well, I
really
feel like
moving the ball.
after Duncan left, I feel like Pop kind of abandoned like post play altogether.
Right,
Remember,
and
he had
and
LaMarcus Aldridge standing at the elbow and like standing on the wing and shit. Like,
well, and they kind of brought it back a little bit when he had Powell and LaMarcus, but yeah, they don't. He doesn't seem to have ever established a really solid perimeter based offense that has any set number of automatics. And
it's just
truly, the only one that we've really seen that's been effective has been the triangle.
yeah.
I mean, because that's essentially what Kerr was running, just a modified version of it. Like, and it's a perimeter based action.
Right.
You can't run a true. You can't have enough actions with a traditional pick and roll. You can't. I mean, you probably could modify a Princeton somewhat, but that's still based upon the baseline, and it's not true perimeter based. So it's tough. You have to find, and unless you're going to go back to 8th grade and you're going to run a pure motion offense, which with the athletes that they have, I would say you could take some elements of the traditional motion offense and try to and run some automatics off of that, and maybe try to have Wemby in the high post and try to create maybe a little triangle action out of a motion. But you really have to establish a perimeter offense if that's how you're going to play, and they don't seem to have one.
They have to do something. Like I was saying it, like I legit. I hate to act like I know everything, but I know everything. So, like I was telling my boys, I was like, the thing that's gonna choke them up, because I watched them a lot all year, is like when it comes down to winning time, they don't have like Wemby doesn't have like any like go-to moves. Steph Castle, to me, he's ahead of schedule. He's got a lot of work to do with his in-between game.
Yeah. They don't have a closer.
They don't have a closer.
Dylan is young. I'm sure Dylan can, turn into that closer. But he's just young right now. There was a couple of shots like where he just kind of rushed them, you know what I mean? And then he had like some rookie mistakes on defense and important times. I knew De'Aaron Fox wasn't that guy, so I'm proud of myself for claiming that one. Like you gotta, like if you don't have one of those guys, you gotta be able, like we gotta be able to come out of a timeout and have something drawn up that's gonna get somebody a shot.
Exactly
like you gotta coach, like you have to scheme open shots. You gotta like Wemby. When you look at it, like almost all his buckets are like one-on-one type stuff.
It's all not even ISO. It is all almost all 4 out ISO.
Yeah,
because he needs room to operate. Yep. So like it's tough for him to do anything off of a. You can't really run a traditional pick and roll. One, he's not strong enough to really set the seal on the screen. But you also you're having another defender that's too close to him. So he needs room to operate because he's so tall and he's got to do all these perimeter moves to make things happen. So it really constrains you. I really think they need to simplify a lot of their offense attack with Wemby, have him put the ball on the floor less, save that more for bigger, moments and not have so much of his offense come off of him playing like a guard, and maybe have him play more like a small forward than like a guard. Have him put
Yeah.
the ball on the
What
floor,
what do you
have
what
him
do you
catch and shoot more.
what do you think of almost similar to the Mavs of days with Dirk?
Dirk,
How he got
Dirk was a lot stronger, a lot bigger of a presence. Even early Dirk, when he was skinny, he was more physically imposing
Yeah.
than Wemby is. You would really have to change Wemby a lot to really play him like that.
And
Because
then you don't.
Dirk could establish position and he played with his back to the basket. Wemby doesn't do that.
And
And
you don't want to like rush the weight on that frame.
yes, because that will
Because
cause injury.
yeah, because big guys already have issues with their feet. So to me, because and I know like as a I used to lock down post guys all the time at 6'2", because I went to Dennis Rodman school. You attack their lower legs. If
Yep.
they don't have a base, they can't really do nothing. And
Right.
so that's what everybody's gonna do to Wemby. I don't know what the fix is, because he can't even, like as a post guy, like you want to be able to put your hip into people to establish position, but his hip is at people's shoulder. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just gonna be hard. So they have to, like Magic said, you gotta like scheme like baseline motions,
Yep.
like some, like even like some pin downs, like different things to just get him
To
the
get
ball.
him,
Because we saw like he would have the ball at like the top of the key. He'd take one dribble, reverse pivot, and he's at the basket.
right.
And so it's like there's not a lot of room to work out there.
Right.
So you got to be able to get some stuff where he can just catch it and go up.
Yeah.
And he's got to work on that. Like if man, I know nobody is gonna do it, but like I was watching Kareem footage the other day, and I was like, if Wemby developed a hook shot, like it's
You
over
can't block
for
it.
everybody. You
Yeah,
can't do
block it, huh?
nothing.
You can't do nothing about it.
And then he's got like the wiggle to where if you remember, like they would overplay Kareem one way, you overplay him, he's dunking. You know
He's
what I mean?
dunking.
So
Yeah,
it's like
it's a wrap.
Or just
if he,
master a baby hook.
yeah, or
You know what? I'll say this because that's a fantastic point, Greg. If he incorporated, it doesn't have to be the sky hook because I guess people like B. Scott says it doesn't look cool. People don't want to do it. It doesn't have to be the sky hook, but if you develop a solid hook,
jump hook,
Wemby, that would be a great, a solid jump, baby jump hook. But another, what I actually think would be even better of a weapon in his arsenal would be if Wemby would be able to incorporate a finger roll into his game. Because if he can get himself to, because those arms are so long, if he and there's few people who can challenge it.
right?
He gets close enough to the basket, 10 feet from the basket. He takes a half dribble. He's there, laying it up off the glass, finger rolling it in. Like you can't stop that. Even if he catches the ball 10 feet from the basket and he's got a smaller guy on him, and with the right action, he could just reach over them, finger roll that thing.
Just little subtle things like that, he can be the NBA scoring leader. Just little subtle things like that.
Also, man, take Penny out the game.
It doesn't only have to be about the scoring leader. It's just about having set go-to established moves that don't take that much out of you. Because the purest, we talk about the pure bucket getters out there. They have 3-4 moves patented. It's gonna happen. We talked about ISO Joe, Bernard King, these bucket getter, Bob McAdoo. They're going out there. They're doing the exact same thing. They have their patented moves. They work every time. Wemby needs to develop those, and I think because of the way his body is built, that baby hook baby hook is perfect. A finger roll was perfect for the way he's built. It's a finesse move. He's a finesse player. It's such a skilled shot that's almost impossible to block, it would be a fantastic tool to have in his arsenal. Because he's never going to be a power guy. Like, and no one should have
Look
any
at Kevin Durant.
fades about
Kevin Durant.
Right.
Like, he still to
Exactly.
this day, you can bully him off of any spot he tries to hold. So it's like,
Exactly.
you know, I'm with all of that. Like, and even, I mean, I hate the turnaround jump shot for somebody that big, but even if he had that, you know, like,
yeah, he just needs to be able to turn over each shoulder.
What I don't want to see is him doing hezzies. Like, I mean, it's cool to have that in your arsenal, but
it just needs to be every once in a while. It doesn't need to be your every move.
Or that basic Rick Smith shot. Get the ball, like you said, turn around, shoot. He has the height. That's all day.
Yes, and he's not playing. He's not playing against the centers in the '90s, where almost everybody has a 7 foot or taller. He's playing against centers that are 6'9",
and they just as skinny as he is.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and they're not girthy.
Not them, but
I mean, but no, Duran, Hartenstein. That's about it.
Like my boy
Steven Adams.
Watching the games, and my boy's like, Greg, does he not understand he can just shoot over? Like, why are you trying to
turn and shoot?
Pop. When all you gotta do is turn around and shoot. Like,
turn around and shoot.
Crazy.
They could have a broom handle, and you're still not blocking his shot.
Matt,
just turn and
remember
shoot.
the days of the Pacers in the fourth quarter. They went to Rick Smith more than they did Reggie Miller in the fourth quarter.
A lot, yeah. I mean, Reggie and crunch time, but yeah, you go into the Big Dutchman. He was automatic from 15 and in, and he was consistent. And he was 7'4". You couldn't do anything about him. He was 7'4". If he didn't have those foot problems,
he's another one.
He was another one. Like he was 7'4". What are you gonna do about it? He hit one of the biggest shots in Pacer history. You can't do anything about it. You got a guy like Whitney. You're that big. Turn, shoot the ball.
He used to kill Patrick Ewing when they played.
Yeah.
There's not much you could do, man.
Yeah, you couldn't do anything about it. What? Yeah, it's one of the things you threw your hands up. Like, what am I going to do? I'm doing everything I can do. You know, and Rick Smits would have killed to play in a league where most of the guys guarding him are 6'9". He's like, "Are you kidding me?"
Oh, it's a wrap. But
it's over.
I think it'll come again. I think the Spurs were ahead of schedule this year.
Yes, the Spurs are way ahead of schedule, and we saw that a couple teams leapt farther than we thought they were. They're definitely ahead of schedule, and honestly, I think this loss is a chip on their shoulder that they probably need. They need an edge. They need a drive to get out there and work. I think it's good for the league.
Can I tell you about my trade?
What's your trade?
I'm getting De'Aaron Fox the hell out of there, right? Like, what about this? Fill me out. Hear me for a second. Julius Randle for De'Aaron Fox.
They ain't pulling that trade. They're not making that trade. Why would Minnesota make that trade?
I think
that don't help them at all.
They're getting rid of Julius anyway. I think they're
for who?
De'Aaron Fox.
For who else?
And now
they're not replacing him with De'Aaron Fox.
A muscle guy, a guy that can play with different gears, and
that don't make Minnesota any better.
I don't care about Minnesota, man. I'm talking about
I know, but that's also not how trades work. Minnesota ain't trading Julius unless they're getting Scotty Barnes or a promising big out of it. They're not sending Julius nowhere.
I don't know, man.
Julius
is on the move. What do you think about?
Well, if he is, it's not from no De'Aaron Fox. I can tell you that.
What do you think about Trey Young saying that he's not going to?
He's declining. Yeah. Well, he said he's also going to sign a 3-year deal.
With who?
With Washington.
What if they're getting Darren Peterson?
He says he's signing a 3-year deal with them after declining the option. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, who? And here's the thing: Ice Trey knows the market for him is small.
Right, I get that, but I don't need him ruining DP. I think Darren Peterson is one of the ones. And
I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't want him to ruin Darren Pearson either. But I think we're going to get inefficient, no defense, often hurt ice tray with street clothes AD, and a lot of 2K people are going to have fun playing with that team. But the Washington Wizards fans ain't going to have fun watching them not be on the court together.
That's tough. You're right.
It's very tough.
They might take AJ though. I'm just ready to get this over with so I can see how sorry we're going to be.
I don't know. Well, Washington's a whole nother. That situation is just I don't know. The Hawks. Hawks on the other hand, I think the Hawks are primed. I think they have to make another leap positive forward. I think they are.
I don't. It's the Hawks, man. I think
they got hot. I don't. They got hot, and I think that they are realistically in the 7th, 8th realm, and I think they can improve. And the thing is, this year and that playoff series against the Knicks has them more confident. They look at that and they say, no one played the Knicks better than we did.
Because that was before the Knicks kicked into gear. They switched up.
But again, they can tell themselves, "Hey, we played the Knicks better than everybody else."
The way they lost, that
final
loss that probably took their confidence going into the next season. They're like,
I was hoping they had a bad year so they could get rid of Quinn Snyder because he again.
Oh, they just re-signed him for 4 years.
That remarkable surge. So now you're gonna have Kuminga. Like, what are you doing?
I forgot how much you don't like Quinn Snyder.
About with the Hawks, they're gonna probably have a setback like the Kings because remember the Kings was promising with DeAndre Fox and the other dude. They were promising.
Yeah, but they also decided to dump their coach Mike Brown, who just beat them.
But it's the opposite. They signed Snyder for 4 years. I'm just.
But I don't know. I don't like what he's doing. Like I think Reece Shea can be a good player, but like yo-yoing his minutes, like yo-yoing his y'all picked him, you know what I'm saying? First, for some strange reason, when the hometown boy just coming off of winning the championship was right there, who led his team to a championship berth, so they had chances. They're gonna figure out ways to mess it up. If truthfully, we don't win anything. I don't say we. I'm saying the Hawks don't win anything if CJ don't go crazy, right? So it's it's gonna be trash.
CJ, please bring that crazy Detroit, please. That was the thing, and I said it, and Greg remembers. I said it back in November. I said the Washington's terrible. CJ's balling. They just need to release him. Detroit signs him, and we have a viable weapon. That was the one thing we needed. That weapon, and credit to Washington for not being dumb and giving him away, and at least trading him for something. But the way he went crazy for the Hawks, man. And remember, the Hawks were in 10th place.
Yeah, they were bad.
They were bad. And he was like, "Hey, I'm here to hoop, y'all. I don't know about y'all." And all of a sudden, it was like the Hawks are beating everything. The Hawks beat this team. Hawks beat that team. And I'm like, I started really paying attention. I'm like, man, this Hawks team is better than people realize. And CJ's going bananas. That I think the talent there is good. I'm not a huge Quinn Snyder guy either. I thought he was overrated when he was at Missouri. He's not a bad coach, but I don't think he is that. He reminds me of?
Who?
He reminds me of this era's Jerry Sloan.
He ain't even that good. I think
not that good, but he just reminds me of Sloan, and that he gets the team to a certain level, and that's where they stay.
I think Jerry Sloan was excellent.
No, he was.
He had
again, not that he's on that level, but he reminds me of of
He
Jerry
don't
Sloan.
win enough, man. He be like, it's
Well,
a
you're like a Rick Pitino.
Nah, Patino. When was Patino outside of his time with the Knicks? When was Patino getting anybody in the playoffs? Rick Pitino wasn't getting
man.
Patino.
Quinn Snyder is bum sauce, and they messed up by hiring him.
Rick Pitino. Nah. Look, some coaches are just they're just not pro coaches.
I agree.
Patino, Calipari. These are not pro coaches, man. That's
Billy
just,
Donovan.
Yep.
Billy's done better than some of them, but yeah. At least he's had some playoff runs
with Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant.
That's true. That's true. That is very yeah. He was that. That's true. You know, better make the playoffs when you're handed those players.
Facts.
Quinn Snyder has a .558 winning percentage.
Okay, that's why I say Jerry Sloan.
I think Jerry was. I mean, I know he had.
No. I know Jerry is a much better coach.
Somebody else.
But okay. You're right. Because Jerry was a better coach. Somebody that would get you consistently good, but not over the hump.
Doug Collins.
I hate.
Yeah. Like that.
No. I mean, no, because Coach Collins has forgotten more basketball than Quinn Snyder knows. Doug Collins is a savant, and Doug Collins honestly, I think he was only remember he got fired after taking the Pistons to Game 7 in '89. Yeah. Like that is a guy who lost a job. I don't believe deserved to lose a job.
Tom Thibodeau.
I would say okay.
I mean,
so
after
I hate
what happened after, I would say.
No, I mean, of course, no, but again, both of those guys were on his staff. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me a lot of that wouldn't have happened.
Yes,
but both of those guys were on his staff. So, and he had good runs with the Pistons too.
I like
the playoffs. I love Doug. Okay, so I'm going to say this guy, and we mentioned him before. I think he and you were mentioned him offline, and I hate to say it because I don't want to seem like I'm ragging on him because I have the utmost respect for him. I don't feel it's an apt comparison either. But close, but not as high as Jerry Sloan is the czar. It's Mike Fratello. Good coach, gets you to a certain level, and then you stay.
So the only thing is that Mike Fratello,
but he's such. I know he's a better coach.
No, I'm saying Mike Fratello, like he had a style. Like when you watch the Mike Fratello,
I love Coach Fratello.
Yeah, you knew at least he had you knew what his team was going to do. Quinn Snyder,
and you knew they were going to make the playoffs.
Any night, no matter anything can happen.
Yeah,
he just had.
But you look at Quinn, 58% winning percentage is nothing to sneeze at. So like I'm trying to think of somebody who was consistently good like that, but also was like, yeah, but you're not so good. And I hate to say Fratello because he's a better coach.
I think he just had. I think he had been blessed to have some really good players that are going to get you 50, 50 wins a year. I don't.
Okay, you know what? And I hate to say this because I don't like the guy, but this may be the closest comparison then. That may be George Karl.
I hate George Karl.
I hate him too. I hate him too, but he was always. He was high winning percentage. Okay, to use somebody that I do like, that because George Karl's George Karl's a dick, but and I don't hate Quinn Snyder as a person. I just don't think he's that level of coach. Someone who I thought was a good coach, but not someone that was going to get you over the hump all the time. I wanted it for him. Either a Mike Dunleavy or a Rick Adelman.
I like both of those guys better.
Consistently winning, high winning percentages, but they weren't upper echelon. They weren't advancing
Rick
you the way you wanted.
Adelman, you know, ran into a bus a few times. Like he ran into the Pistons.
He had some.
He ran into the
Yes,
Bulls.
he did.
And
He
then
ran into the Bulls.
into the Lakers
Yes.
like a couple times with
Yeah.
Sacramento, where if they
I mean he had a tough sled.
Yeah,
Rick
so
Allen
I
did.
put him in the great coach category.
Yeah, well, he's
not
he's
the
not
top,
the top tier, but
yeah,
he's
but
he's up there. Rick
he
Allen
had
is
like
fantastic.
some bad luck, man.
Yes, he
Because
did.
those Sacramento Kings, those teams would have easily won championships if they didn't run into
so more of Dunleavy or Del Harris.
Del Harris is a good one, sucker ass chump.
Del Harris is more of a closer on that level. That
you just out there.
Yeah.
You just out there.
Yeah.
And your players,
you're good, but you're not great. Your team is all right. They're gonna make the playoffs, but nobody's scared of you.
Developing nobody, like nothing special. You just be out there.
Because remember Ish, Del Harris trotted out Shaq, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Kobe Bryant, Cedric Sabalas, Eldon Campbell, and lost and got swept by the Jazz. And a team that had no business beating them.
I don't think y'all brought up. What about Mike? Did you brought up Mike D'Antoni?
No, D'Antoni's. I don't. D'Antoni.
He's a special case.
Mike. I have zero love for. I'm sorry, Mike D'Antoni to me is the most overrated NBA coach in history. But here's
the thing:
so overrated.
I would say
he'll give you 50 wins, but after that, you're not.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Listen, I will at least say that, what is Quinn's? I know what D'Antoni's style is at least. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know what Quinn Snyder's style is. It just looked like they be out there playing basketball.
I don't think he has this. You don't even know what his style is.
No, it's just they just out there. It's that George Karl stuff. George Karl is a great comparison.
George Karl was very much like
it was like you just out there.
Which is why the Sonics team kept winning 50 games and then losing the first round. They just going out there doing stuff.
Not not going over 13 shots per game.
He had pre-8 baby mamas, pre-fat, Sean Kemp. He had prime Sean Kemp.
Handcuffing him.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
he had prime Gary Payton.
He's easily a Hall of Fame talent.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't just a dunker either.
He's a Hall of Fame talent.
Yeah. And you got him shooting 12 shots a game. Go tell George.
Well, I wouldn't have him taking 12 shots. If he was shooting 12 shots, I'd be like, Sean, stop shooting, because he couldn't shoot at that point.
He had a mid-range. He developed
95, 96, yes. 93, Sean Kemp, that jumper was fucking.
Guess what?
Know it. And you know it was
we're losing. Give him the ball and let him ball.
No, he needed to get the ball more.
This the man that told,
I don't want him shooting it. But this is the man,
Anthony, that I see you in a Detlef Shrimp role. I think it would be comparable to Detlef Shrimp.
Well, this is a guy who wasted Detlef Shrimp. This is a guy who wasted Dale Ellis, wasted Kendall Gill, Xavier McDaniel, among others.
Didn't he have Ricky Pierce? A little bit.
Then he had that big three: Cassell, Ray Allen, and Big Dog.
And Big Dog.
He's a garbage coach, and from what they say, he's a garbage person.
Yeah.
So, boo.
yeah. That's why I didn't want to bring up his name, because I don't like talking about George Karl. I don't like George Karl.
You know,
I don't like him at all.
Harris,
well, at least Dell's from my everything I've heard, a decent human being.
Not to that baby goat that he had sitting on the bench. He out here destroying everybody in practice.
He is the one who let him take those shots, though.
That was because everybody else was afraid to take them shots.
Yeah, but he did have him. Last night, I like Dell didn't have him on the court in '97. He did have him on the court. It's not act like he didn't have him on the court. He just couldn't do it. He's just not that level of coach.
He sucked. He couldn't manage.
That team should have run roughshod out of the league. Bulls weren't the most talented team that year. It was the Lakers. You remember that game where they went to overtime and Randy Brown dunked on your entire squad?
No, I don't remember that.
Yes, you do.
Nope. I was probably busy that day. What's going
Never
on
should
in your
lost
city, man? What's up with the lady with the butt, like on the what's going on, man? Y'all supposed to be happy y'all won.
For real, yo, for real. It's y'all burning school buses. We got women fighting
somebody in their naked butt, like
that's what New Yorkers do, man. I'm from Jersey. That's what New Yorkers do, man. They just like messing stuff up when they're happy, and that's what they do. They burn buses.
I don't.
They climb poles.
I mean,
they climb trucks.
Keep seeing that booty.
They punch old ladies in the face. That's what they do.
Like I don't understand. Like they were both on the pole. The sister tries to get down, throws the white girl off for I don't know what reason. She gets mad, pulls the pants down, then pulls the drawers down, starts punching her butt while she's twerking.
Yeah, she liked it. Like she was liking this lady.
To an extent,
and then the white girl hit her in the head
and mollywops the lady.
Well, because the white girl hit her in the head then, and then she gets down and mollywops.
So, like, as long as you're getting punched in your bare butt, you're
good.
It's okay.
Right.
But once she hit her in the head, then she had to get down, and then they had to squabble, and then it was over because that poor little girl was outweighed by a good 75 pounds. She had no chance.
That's the sad part. That's going to be the most memorable part of the parade. Is that scene right there?
Yes, is the woman with the blue shorts and the orange drawers, very Knicks out there.
Did y'all see the video of the kid Tyler Kolek? He was running up the crowd, and the police was about to arrest him. And he's like, "No, I'm a player." And somebody had to tell him,
like, no, you're not.
He actually plays for the Knicks because he's white and he didn't get to play at all.
Like, we didn't see you on TV.
That is hilarious.
We didn't see you on TV.
Right?
Crazy, man.
Wow, I did not know that. That's funny.
Yeah,
all right.
So can I say this, that the mid cup is important because the past 3 years, 4 teams have made it to the finals.
He's just hating that his team ain't got 9.
Come on, that's stupid cup. We
got the inaugural, baby.
and nobody but y'all remembers that. And nobody cares.
Remember forever.
This is the only year that there's been any correlation. I don't think it means anything yet.
That's your
I don't. No, but my thing is this: if you put some weight behind the cup, if you make it some type of winning it like a tiebreaker or it adds on because like those are extra games that don't count towards their 82. Right. So if you win the cup, let's say the Pistons and the Knicks ended both with 60 wins, and the Pistons had the tiebreaker, they had swept the season series. Well, the Knicks win the cup, so that's how many games are in the cup. And I would say, okay, well, the Knicks won those extra games. Those extra games are 63, and you only had 60. So now the Knicks are the 1 seed. You're not the 1 seed now. Like if it had that type of weight, I would put more value into the cup. But right now, the cup is just a mid-season tournament that really doesn't mean.
I mean, so this
much.
Year the Knicks beat the Spurs in
the mid-season.
So I think it meant a lot, sir.
And then the previous year was the Pacers and
when it happened, nobody was calling for either one of those teams to be in the finals.
They did with the Spurs and the Knicks.
Nobody.
Right, but maybe it's telling us something.
Nobody was like, "Ooh, no one was saying, ooh, this is the finals preview."
Maybe it was telling.
No one was saying
the year before The Thunder made it. They lost, but they made it.
Yep.
And who
Pacers
won it?
lost and they
The
made it.
Bucks.
Oh yeah, that meant a lot.
And then
Them Bucks, man, they took that momentum from that NBA Cup, and everybody forgot
the
about it.
inaugural year.
Yeah, no one cares about the Lakers winning that stupid
Anthony
thing.
Davis did put up like 40 and 20, but somehow LeBron still got MVP.
And that was the last 40 and 20 he put up with the Lakers too.
Somehow LeBron still won MVP.
Oh, of course, LeBron still won MVP. Well, of course, that's what the law says in California.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying it's not going to be done in history. Brunson is the first person to win MVP for both things, all three things.
Do not care in any way, shape, form, or
fashion
fashion
for the league.
about the NBA Cup. I think it could be good for the league. Again, it just to me it needs to mean something.
I think it does.
It just right now it doesn't mean
money.
And it's like a playoff atmosphere early.
They get money, period.
I know they get more money.
And it's like a playoff atmosphere. It gets your team to get,
but it doesn't increase or enhance your chances for anything. Honestly, what it does right now is it potentially puts more games, of wear and tear on players, and they're trying to load manage and all that. If anything, it's just extra games. I think I just want it to have some type of viable meaning, whether it means that, it just needs to have meaning. Just like the All-Star game to me, to bring some seriousness back, that it needs to have some meaning. Either means that.
What do you think of a team that wins? They have home court advantage in the finals if they make it to the finals.
That's how baseball works. I like that. I've always liked
that for a while. I think they stopped it, right?
And that's horrible. They did that for baseball. But baseball does that. I love that.
They changed that.
Baseball might have stopped it, but baseball did that for years, and I love it.
I think it's
because it makes the game. It makes the game mean something. And we are three old men. We are three old men who miss
because these scrubs didn't want to play ball on an off day.
They're not supposed to be scrubs. They're supposed to be all-stars. They're supposed to be best of best. Right?
It's not.
That's the best, right?
Taking somebody from every team. It's not.
Okay, but it's supposed to be.
So these guys that got.
So if you want to increase the level of competition, if you want people to be all-stars who should be all-stars, then you need to increase the level of seriousness and the level of importance of the game. Because these people don't want to compete for the sake of competing anymore. This is a different breed. They ain't built like they ain't built like we were.
They stopped it in 2016. Here's my thing. I think that fans just need to understand that these are they're not real games. Nobody's trying to get hurt. You'll be crying as a fan if
I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Your favorite player tears his ACL in an All-Star game. So just understand.
Yeah, okay, but how often does that happen? You can tear an ACL and you're like, how often does that really happen when people get majorly injured? I can't think of a single All-Star game where people were playing hard in the 80s, they were playing hard in the 90s, and they're playing hard in the early 2000s. And I don't remember a single major injury happening during the All-Star game.
Robert Edwards tore his ACL.
Who?
Football player. Tore his ACL in the
Pro Bowl.
Remember when they used to play? It was the Pro Bowl, but it was the sand game. I think they used to play flag or something, and
that happens after the season,
right? But it still happened, and it just
okay. And you have all off season to recover, man.
Recover from an ACL in the off season. Literally ruined his career.
At least half of it.
It ruined his career, man. No.
That's one example.
That's all we need.
That's all we need. That sounds like his knee was going to pop no matter what.
Yeah.
Sounds like he was going to pop that knee. It sounds like he was going to have a Carlos Boozer and break a finger opening the door or whatever.
People need to come to grips with the fact that these are exhibitions, and they're
Well, you know what's an
Like
exhibition? We would like a little competition in our exhibition.
I get enough competition, because during the year, like the year where they put up like 200 points, I was cool with that. Like that's good. Just go out there and see if you.
That wasn't good. There was.
I thought I enjoyed it thoroughly.
That wasn't good
because
I wasn't good at all.
I mean, I know you're not used to having a team that contends for anything, but as somebody whose team contends for stuff, I would hate if like LeBron like tore his Achilles or something in a freaking All-Star game trying to play hard.
Well, again, yes, yeah. Look both ways. We're looking for the trying to play hard part. No, because remember when Kobe tried to get him to play hard, what did he do? He passed the ball.
It's just practice.
So
it's just exhibition.
I mean, I just want the cup to mean something. That's all.
It means a lot to the Knicks because they won that in the NBA Finals.
I think what it's doing is it energizes early season because the old adage has always been that NBA doesn't really start till Christmas. So now they're actually, their ratings are increasing. It adds like a different level, and it's just something to be excited about early on. And I bet you if the Pistons had one of those cups, Matt would probably have a tattoo on his back.
That's right. With the cup.
I honestly would not care. just you know what? Here's the thing. There are certain franchises that have a championship or bust mindset. Even though the Pistons don't have the number of banners that the Lakers have or the Celtics have, basketball historians know that the Pistons are one of the most important franchises to the NBA. The NBA itself wouldn't be where it is if Fred Zoner, who was owning the Pistons, didn't do what he did to make the league happen. The Pistons are a very championship or bust team. We're not a team that hangs division banners, just like the Lakers don't hang division banners, just like the Celtics don't hang division banners. We don't really care about the cup. If the cup had more value, if the cup was presenting an advantage, then I think more teams would care about the cup, and I personally, as a fan, would care more about the cup. But right now, the cup is extra games and allows them to make a little extra money, and I am all for the money and making extra money. I just would like it to mean more something for the team as a whole. And like I said, even if it's just a tiebreaker, it doesn't have to mean anything huge. If it gives you a tiebreaker, it gives you some sort of advantage, then that's worth winning something. And I think having that. They're not going to do it, but I think it would be cool even if it gave you. We can go back to the almost the pre-merger days or the late 70s, early 80s. Have it give you a bye. Have it give them a bye.
How would that work if you're like at the end of the season, like the 8th seed? So the 8th seed would get a bye, even though they won the cup.
Make it. You made it worth something.
So last year the Bucks won, and then they proceeded to fall apart like Legos.
Yes, they did.
So imagine them having a bye in the playoffs, and they don't have nobody healthy. No,
they still would have lost no matter what.
No.
I don't think they should, but I want it to mean something.
It does mean something.
It means
you get extra money and you get to hold the trophy. You get to hoist the trophy.
Nobody cares about that ugly trophy. No one even knows what that trophy's called.
The Knicks winning
because you play for the Larry O'Brien trophy. You don't play for the who knows what's its name.
Is it called the Emirates Cup?
Emirates
or something like that.
Oh, it's a sponsored.
Yeah.
Oh, that definitely means nothing. It could change names every 5 years as the sponsor name. It'll be the T-Mobile Cup next year, or it'll be the Wells Fargo Cup.
Then maybe that should be the incentive.
Or it'll be the
change the name of
one
the
year
cup.
will be one year will be the Tesla Cup. Give me a break.
If you win it, you can change the name of the cup.
Nothing. You play for the Larry O'Brien trophy. That's the trophy that matters.
Listen, man, the Knicks won that trophy, and then they went crazy and just started stomping mud holes in everybody.
No, they didn't. They didn't go crazy to the playoffs.
It began. It was like the word
sound like
they definitely didn't go crazy after that cup, because after that cup, my Pistons beat them by 35 and 30. They didn't go crazy to the playoffs.
Tired because they played so hard to win the cup.
That cup means nothing.
And
that glass you're sipping out of ish means more than that cup.
And mentally, they were on a bye. That's why they lost by 40.
They were mentally on a bye?
Yeah. They had to give that game back.
Maybe they were mentally on a bye because they were looking for something for that cup to mean. They were hoping something they won. It didn't mean nothing.
Man, you are wild, boy. Them boys played their hearts out.
Yes, they did, man.
And I'm happy for them because they won the Larry O'Brien. That's the trophy that means something.
Because they realized that they could win, man. You know how it is. Once you get
also
a taste of winning.
On top of it, they Kolek showed off in that cup.
Yeah, and then he didn't even get to.
And they didn't even remember him because he couldn't even get to the parade. That's how much that thing don't mean nothing. They didn't even remember him.
He got a lot of blood in the. They
thought he was a ball boy.
You don't like white point guards? What's going on? What's up?
I like them if they're actually good.
He's good.
He was good,
not overrated.
He was good. He was good for a time period. Off the bench before they made the trade. They picked up Jose. He did his part.
I'm not hating on him. Obviously, the Knicks fans are because they didn't even recognize he was a member of the team.
That was the cops. That's on them.
That was the cops.
Hey, who should know the Knicks better than the cops?
The cops.
Yeah, they should know the Knicks better than everybody. They don't know.
Or the cop was mad because he lost money because he betted on the Spurs.
I don't know why. FDNY would have murdered him for doing that. God, you tripping now. So, all right, last thing. Did y'all see the video of the dude they call Uncle Spur that went wild and everybody was trying to attack him? In the Spurs, wearing the Spurs Robin jersey, so you know he was not to be played with.
Yes,
they kept on trying to attack him, and he was mollywopping everybody.
I saw that he went full.
He tried to fight. He tried to fight the whole city, and New York was looking real soft at that moment. They was looking real soft.
I just don't understand. I guess it's when people aren't used to winning anything, like so they want to get into fights and stuff. You would never see that in Los Angeles, probably.
It don't make no sense to me because
and
then they all got punked out. So it was like you did all this to look soft. One dude, he was surrounded, and they kept coming at him. He kept on putting them down. The cops had to get him away from the people.
You ain't lying
about that.
Mike
Tyson?
I gotta see if I can find the video. I thought I sent it to you, G. This was crazy. This dude, he was wilding. Cops were he's surrounded by 50 some odd people, and the cops were trying to keep him away from getting to them because they kept on coming at him and checking him and trying him, and he was like, no, and that ain't how it's working. If this man's wearing a Rodman Spurs jersey, Rodman ain't been a Spurs since 94, 95.
Right. And like any Spurs fan that is happy with Dennis Rodman, because he did not have a great tenure with the Spurs. They did not like him there.
He didn't want to be there.
Well, he didn't fit there.
Yeah.
Personality
didn't want to be there. Yeah.
Basketball wise, he was a good fit. They just didn't use him. But like if you're a Spurs fan and you liked Dennis Rodman's tenure, there's something loose in screws or two or three.
I'm watching it. It looked like that's a New Jersey too.
Right. It looked pristine. My man, he
woke up like, I'm gonna beat up some Knicks.
I got your back, Wemby.
But do you see these people keep coming at him, and then the cops are keeping him off of him because he ain't the one.
Man,
he ain't the one.
He gonna be on one of those kick boxing matches.
No, he'll end up on Power Slap because that's where people end up now. You know, everybody ends up on Power Slap.
All right, man. I got a hot take real quick.
Oh, okay.
Olivia Miles MVP.
She can be Rookie of the Year. They're not going to give her the MVP.
It's going to be Candace all over again. You see what she did last night?
Yeah.
She's
filthy.
Being really disrespectful to everybody. Nobody can mess with her. MVP. I'm telling you now. I could.
Olivia's balling though, and they're in the Lynx are balling, and they're doing it without feet, which is scary.
And guess what?
Scary.
That's what she's really killing people with. The pick and roll.
Yep.
Now imagine you got Natasha Howard who's balling out. You got Courtney who's finally in her regular place. And we got McBuckets over there. You know, she's just going to get buckets. But when you put Fee at that 4, it's
tough,
over
man.
with.
It's tough.
It's over with. There's nothing you can do. But pepper spray, you know.
It's just going to come to, it's going to come to, can you, like, the Aces have seemed to be like, we're not worried about the regular season. We're just going to make the playoffs and dare you to beat us in the playoffs. And that game they had against the Aces, that was like, it's crazy because the Aces win that game, but everybody's like, man, the Lynx played well despite the fact that the Aces still beat them. But like, when the thing is, the Lynx are going to be scary at full strength. They're going to be really, really
especially
scary.
with Natasha Howard playing the way she's playing.
Natasha's.
It's just...
I want to throw something out to you guys because it's dope that you guys are talking about the WNBA because I don't hear anyone talking about the WNBA. But what are your top 5 all-time WNBA
teams
in the history of the WNBA?
You're talking like objectively your favorites?
Objectively,
Houston Comets #1 still.
Yeah,
Sparks.
Them Lynx teams, my guy.
Huh?
With Maya and Simone.
Oh, no, I'm not done. He said 5.
Oh, okay.
The Comets, the Sparks, the Lynx, the Aces.
Seattle. So,
and I gotta have to say, it's either between the Storm or the Liberty.
I just remember.
I would have to say the Liberty because they're a day one franchise. They've recently won. They've been in multiple WNBA finals, but it's close between the Storm and the Liberty. If the Shock still existed, I would say them because they had 3 titles. But they don't exist anymore. So,
but the Comets don't either. So you're technically allowed.
No, but yeah, it's true. But Houston is they're bringing that franchise.
They're coming back. Yeah,
they're coming back. But that 4 straight to start everything off, like you can't. There's no way you can take them off, existing or not. Like they were so good.
That was if there was ever like Avengers as a basketball team.
Oh my god,
it was them.
The Comets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coops, Tina Thompson. You kidding me? It was craziness.
Yeah, that was insane.
That was insane.
Yeah, it was just like they just going out there stomping mud holes in people.
Yeah. So like I would say the 5th one you can interchange the Storm in or the Liberty or even the Phoenix Mercury. Any one of those 3 franchises you can throw in at the 5 spot.
What do you think about the original Liberty with
Witherspoon?
Yeah, and
Rebecca Lobo.
Yeah. They needed somebody deprived of melanin to go on. Remember, because they was pushing Dawn Staley, Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops.
No, so the ones that, I remember those. I remember those ads. Those ads, the WNBA ads that we got next campaign. It was featuring Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie. Mostly Lisa Leslie was center. Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobo. Those were the three names that they were pushing as the stars of the league.
I feel like Dawn wasn't. Dawn wasn't in there.
They really wasn't pushing Dawn. They were pushing Lisa because she was essentially like the leader of the 96 women's team. Swoops because of how good she was. The MJ comparisons, plus she had come off of that Texas Tech run.
Right, the best. And
then Lobo because she, because of the run she had at UConn, which I mean, she, let's not act like Rebecca Lobo wasn't. Well, Rebecca Lobo was like the women's version of Christian Laettner. In college, she was nice.
Exactly.
In college, she was. You could not mess with her in college. She was nice. Came to the pros, it didn't pan out so well. I think her pro career was better compared to Laettner's, but she was not the level of player in the pros that she was in college.
No. And I knew she wasn't going to be, but that's besides.
Yeah, I knew she wasn't going to be either because unfortunately she was limited.
Yeah.
She was limited. And Gino, as great players as come out, Gino was not known for being the developer of those players.
Right.
Yeah. He just puts them in a position to win at that level, but they're not really developing a ton under him, especially those early years.
I think that to me, honestly, I think their best players was Deanna Taurasi and Maya Moore. I think those are the two.
Oh, UConn?
Of UConn, yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. You've got Swing Cash, you've got Sue Bird, you've got Stewie. You've got a lot of players. And people forget like Swing Cash got hurt. Like if Swing Cash doesn't hurt that leg, we never got to see full Swing Cash powers in the WNBA. We never got to see that.
Mama Tina, there's just so many. I think it would be hard to say two because Maya, Stewie, Diana, Sue Bird. It's just they have.
It's a lot.
Players,
it's a lot of players. I mean, and say that's like saying you can't it's Tennessee. They tried out a similar lineup. It's like
probably. I mean, I don't know, possibly better.
It's close. I mean, Tamika Catchings, Candace Parker. Shamiqua Holtzclaw. Oh people forget about how nice Shamiqua was at Tennessee.
She was the one.
She was the one.
Yeah.
I still have that slam cover of her in the Knicks jersey.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Oh, I love Shamiqua. You kidding me, man? I love Shamiqua. Tennessee, and Tennessee, I don't know if they have all that. They don't have all that star power UConn has trotted out over the years, but with Coach Summit's heyday, her role players, like the Michelle Marciniaks of the world. I remember that cover because she's from Allentown, and Dawn being from Philly. They had a cover of of the two of them on some magazine. Tennessee had some players, man.
Yeah, they were, and I mean that program was
excellent, elite program. Yeah, but yeah, this is it's so tough to list best out of UConn because just that's way, and so many of them played with each other, so it's like
right.
How do you know how good they were because they weren't carrying a squad? It's like because Cheryl Swoops when's the last? No one's talked about Texas Tech women basketball since Cheryl Swoops.
Before or after?
Before or after.
That's why, when they be trying to act like I see the things where they talk about the top 5 women's players ever. I'm like, if she ain't on the list, I don't want to talk about it.
If she don't list, it ain't a real list.
If her and Cheryl ain't, because I was, again, living in Louisiana, right next door to Texas, so I'm watching them games, man, and. You talk about one person dragging a team, to the championship,
right.
And then what did she put up? What was it? 48, 47?
Something
in the final game. It's one of those.
It was filthy.
And I'm talking about like a healthy. Let me. I know it's 40 something.
That kind of reminds me of like Larry Bird at Indiana State. After Larry Bird, nobody even.
Nobody talk about no Indiana State anymore.
Yeah.
Man.
Very,
Like, ain't
very
nobody
similar.
talking about them. Ain't nobody talking about them. Nobody can name another player from them.
You don't even think a top recruit like I'm going to Indiana State.
Nobody's. Well, Bird didn't say that. Remember, Bird went to Indiana first. He went to state. He couldn't get along with Coach Knight, and the fact that Bird and Isaiah Thomas were almost teammates in Indiana is filthy.
Can you imagine?
It would have been Bird, Mike Woodson, and Isaiah Thomas. Bird would have been like a senior or something like that, and Zeke would have been a freshman. But like, come on, Woody, Zeke, and Bird that freaking Indiana.
That's a national championship right there.
And Zeke won the national championship as a sophomore. Like,
I'm just saying, you have him against Magic with the Michigan.
Oh no! I mean that Greg Kelser and Magic Johnson ain't beating Larry Bird, Zeke, and Mike Woodson. That wouldn't have happened. So
you know what? Well, we'll never know.
I'm one of the biggest Magic Johnson fans in the world.
You know
Magic
what?
Johnson himself will tell you.
Magic didn't even have to like turn up, get out of fourth gear in that game, man. Like if he'd had to like
with the NIL, I think that would be dope for a college basketball game of putting like the former NBA players. You know how they used to they did, was it with 2K16 or 17 when they had like the teams like the Boston Celtics from the 60s. Do that with the college game where they have like they did
before NAL. They did beforehand. They would have the years. Yeah, the old EA college games. They would have classic teams. Of course, they weren't paying, so we just said the number. But yeah, they had old teams on there. They did that for years. That's what's whole started this whole NAL thing. Is that Ed O'Bannon's nephew was playing a college game, and the classic UCLA Bruins team was one of the classic teams, and the player looked like him, wore his number, and he was like, "Yeah, that's me," and they ain't paying me. That's why we have an NIL now. It's because the classic teams were on there. Yeah, they were doing that for a while.
I wonder, so I'm looking here because remember they were saying since they did the football, they were going to do a basketball one, but I haven't heard anything else about it, and I think it's disrespectful because I want to play it ASAP.
Yeah, they were talking about doing that. I remember that they were talking about doing a college basketball game.
47 points against Ohio State.
Yeah,
championship game.
Healthy 47. Like I'm talking about bucket-ish. If you haven't seen it, pull up the highlights on YouTube. Pull up the highlights on YouTube. It's a treat. She like in a flow state, like looking like Lady Jordan, man. It was crazy.
She got her own shoe for it.
Yeah.
I remember weirdos were calling for her to breed with MJ
to make a super
baby.
Hold on, what year was this? What year was LeBron?
It was like 94, 95. People were calling for.
All right, so LeBron was already alive. Okay.
Yeah, LeBron was already alive. Yeah.
Starting that rumor.
No, she'd have been way too young to be LeBron's mama in '84. Yeah. We ain't talking about Karl Malone. He's the one who likes children.
Yeah.
So, that's not doing that. All right. We've gone way longer than normal. I'm gonna have to cut this into two parts. All right. So I'm gonna ask, last thing. Okay, let me ask y'all this because you know what? People who know, I haven't said it a lot on this show, but if you listen to the original Jeek podcast, you've heard me say it. If you've chatted with me about sports, especially college, you heard me say it. I hate Duke. Every once in a while, there's a player who I learn to respect because the ability is undeniable. I've gone back and forth with a particular person, particular Dookie, and I was really starting to be like, okay, I think I'm going to be okay with this guy.
Okay.
And then he made two comments. One I agreed with, and the other one I was like, huh? So I'm not going to talk about the one that made me say, huh, because I don't care about that event, and I didn't watch it, and I didn't care. But what I found interesting was that he said he was commenting on how the fact that the Spurs did not shake hands with the Knicks following their loss, and he said that shaking hands, sportsmanship level, is something that we can leave for middle school JV teams. Um, it's not something that has to happen. Um, I personally agree. I think by the time a player, an athlete, has gotten to high school, they should have a certain understanding of just general sportsmanship. However, when it comes to certain teams, certain players, if you want rivalries, if you want passion and heated competition, everybody can't be friends. You don't see the Red Sox and Yankees shaking hands. You don't see Michigan and Ohio State shaking hands. Why? Because they'd rather shoot each other than shake hands. Not everybody's got to shake hands. Celtics didn't shake the Pistons' hands. Pistons didn't shake the Bulls' hands. There's so many notable instances of teams not shaking hands for whatever reason. Not everybody's got to shake hands. And after you lose on the biggest stage, the first thing you're thinking of ain't exactly to go shake somebody's hand. If you do it, good for you. It's cool. If you don't, I personally don't care. Now, what I would say is bad sportsmanship is if someone goes to shake your hand and you be a dick about it and push them away or say something or cause a commotion. That's not cool. But if you don't feel like shaking hands, you don't got to just go initiate shaking hands. It's not a big deal. It really isn't. But everyone wanted to start getting arms. Oh my God, how can you say that? Everybody should be shaking hands. It's like, no, everybody doesn't. And most people are selective about who they are okay with not shaking hands and who they are okay with. No, yeah, they're selective for who they're okay with not shaking hands, and then everyone else has to fall in line and shake hands. I'm on the mindset of I don't care. I would rather see a little bad blood, a little animosity, than everybody be friends. Because everybody be friends has us where we are, where there's not as much competition. The level of competition ain't what it to me what it should be on certain levels. If you want to build rivalries, because you need to increase how your storytelling is, especially looking at you NBA, then you need to let some people have some bad blood.
Yeah, I don't it's not a big deal to me. Like if you shake hands, that's cool. Like I look at the nature of this series and again, not having a dog in the fight. So we know that the New York media tends to blow things up, right? So they created this Wimby is a villain thing, but we're watching the games. We're watching all the stuff that if you just watch Wimby, don't watch the ball. Watch how they're grabbing him, they're holding him. There's some stuff that what Alvarado did. To me, that's dirty. You know what I mean? To me, when Jalen crashed into his legs, that was dirty. There's all this stuff they're doing all the time, and so you gotta. The referees aren't calling it, so you got to just kind of try to
Got to
figure
deal
out how
with
to
it.
play
Yeah.
through it. You're getting harassed, people throwing shit at you, when you're walking into your hotel. You know what I'm saying? it's not like a.
I mean, yeah. I mean that happens. I mean,
Yeah, that don't happen a lot, man.
no, it
You're not gonna
definitely
show
no.
me.
It
You're
used
not
to
gonna
be
show
so
me a
much
video
worse.
of Michael
Come
Jordan
on.
hitting the head, like somebody throwing something and hitting you in the head. Like
Yes.
when you're walking into your hotel.
Yes. Walking in the tunnel. I mean, you remember what Boston Garden was like in the 80s.
Walking, I'm talking. That was in that arena. I'm talking about like this is after a game. I'm going to bed, dog. And
okay, and you remember in the 80s, people would go to the hotel and have them call the rooms and stuff to bother and disturb them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what people do. People get stuff thrown at.
But but I mean, that's something you could go to jail for. Like
nowadays, they're gonna throw you in jail. Back then, it was just part of the game.
All I'm saying is, like to endure all that stuff and then have the media like ignoring all the stuff that's being done to you and pointing out what you did back. Like even I was mad when he caught Nas with that elbow. Mm-hmm. But if you look at all the dirty shit they were doing, like like non-basketball stuff that they're doing to him all the time, I get it. So yeah, maybe when he's older, he'll be able to like push that to like compartmentalize, so to speak, and then still go out and do the handshake thing. But I wasn't mad at it. That man was getting ready to cry. He wants to win. He wants to be great. He knows. I guarantee you, unlike a lot of these stars of today, if you sit down and talk to him, he'll tell you, "I'm the reason why we lost."
Yeah.
Even if that's not really true.
Well, if you're the leader, you're the lead dog. You gotta take that responsibility.
Yeah, he's that kind of kid. So like, I don't know. I coached pretty decent level AAU basketball. We used to shake hands, but I mean, we're trying to teach young boys how to be men. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, win, lose, or draw. Let's show sportsmanship. That's cool. These dudes get paid a gajillion dollars a game. Like, and a lot of these dudes don't care.
Right.
They just like, I got my check.
Yeah.
So you got a kid that cares that much. I guarantee you he was trying to hurry up and get to the locker room so he could cry. Like, you can see it in his face. You know what I mean? So I ain't worried about all of that. Like, people are just, like, it's just funny how he went from being this guy that, everybody's trying to prop up and everybody loves, and he's super tall and he's French, and now he's like Palpatine or something. You know what I mean? Like, everybody hates him. He's dirty. He, can't control his anger, blah, blah, blah. Like, get off of me, dog. Like, even when he mushed Jalen, like, what is Jalen doing?
Right.
Like, just going in here to be, muck it up. So get off of me. They should have called something, yeah. But I ain't mad at that. Like, I wouldn't be mad either way. I ain't gonna lie, when the Celtics walked off from the Pistons, I didn't like that because, they were always playing race stuff in the media with the Celtics, blah, blah, blah. I thought that was really disrespectful, especially when the Celtics were the ones that started the dirty play. Like, all the stuff that the bad boys got in trouble or got villainized for, all they did was do what the Celtics did to us in '84.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I didn't like that. I was kind of laughing when they walked off, when the Pistons walked off. And I like both teams. I wasn't really one team or the other, but I thought it was funny how they did it because it looked. When I say laughing, I thought it was like it looked cowardly in a way to me. You know what I mean?
Well, the one camera angle that follows, it makes it look like he's ducking, but he's not.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's just the way they did it. It was like to me, when the Celtics did it, it was like F them, right. And this one was like, forget them,
It was. I mean, it was pretty much the same vein.
I get it. But there was, I think there was a different level of,
especially because Lambeer was the one who orchestrated.
Yeah.
So you knew there was a level of petty and a middle finger coming out of that.
Right, and I mean, I'm like, I still don't like vilify the Isaiah and them for doing that. Jordan did say some stuff, even though I think what he said was kind of true. But
that they were undeserving champions.
I mean, what they won, so you can't say they're not. But you can't say
That's what he said, though.
I know, but like you trying to play basketball, I'm trying to play basketball, and you trying to play West Side Story gang fight. You know, trying to play
which is exactly. But he didn't say that about the Celtics. The Celtics played the same way. He didn't say about them. But the Lakers hit people hard. He didn't say about that.
Them didn't really do him like that though. When they played, they didn't beat him up the Celtics the way the Pistons did.
No, the Pistons beat everybody up. The Celtics hit some people harder than others. Kurt Rambis getting taken out by McHale. Like they hit people just as hard, just as much as the Pistons. It's just the Pistons did it probably to more teams, where other teams may have been more selective about doing it against their rival. But hey, you're Chicago. Chicago and Detroit is a rivalry. If you can't deal with it.
But all that to say, it ain't, to me, it's laughable. Like when you're complaining, like these dudes make a lot of money. This is their livelihood. This isn't like weekend.
Yeah, this isn't community sports. Yeah. It's not CYO basketball. It's not rec league. It's different. Ish, you go ahead because we gotta wrap this up because my phone's gonna die and I won't have no camera no more.
All right.
Unless he's frozen. He looks frozen. Yeah, he's frozen. All right. We lost Ish. He's frozen. All right. That's gonna wrap up this very long, unexpectedly long episode. But I'm glad we did it here of Finalysis 101. Not as much analysis as normal in this one, but we gave you some. And that's the point. We love to give you the finalysis, the nuance of the differences of what people just make noise about and what we actually dig deep and go into. We hope you enjoyed this show. Shout out to our boy Ish of the Dad Is Not a Noun podcast. Definitely give it a check out, especially if you are a father, especially if you're a Black father. It is designed to build and uplift fathers and stress the importance of fatherhood in our society. Check out past issues of Finalysis 101 on your local podcast, your favorite podcasting app. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Good Pods, and others. Check out our primary show, the original Jeek podcast. That is the best conversation combining sports and geek culture. For my man, Greg Burnham, I'm your host, Rocky Mr. Magic. Until next time, peace.
Peace.